Yeah. What's going on, YouTube? We are live. We are live. We got our panelists in the building. So today we have two new panelists, and I'm excited to have them on. We got Tanya Lee. Tanya, feel free to introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, I'm Tanya Liu. I also go by Melanie Liu on like social platforms for my creativity aspects. I do a little bit of singing, wardrobe styling, natural hair care, hospitality, all the things. But yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And we got Mr. Hayes in the building.
How's everybody doing? It's a pleasure to meet everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. God bless everybody. It's my Sabbath, so I'm gonna say God bless everybody on my Sabbath. And I also want to say I'm an artist. I'm a difference maker. I do many different things. I just try to involve myself with positive people and positive energy. That's the space I stay in, whatever that looks like.
Okay, okay. I love it. I love it. And Mr. Professor is back in the building. What's up, man? From week 2.
He's back in the building.
Back in the building. We got Lindsay back in the building. You know what I'm saying? And yo, everybody's used to Chill by now. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Mr. Chill, aka say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. You know? So we got two people that's gonna chime in. It is Sunday, so they did have things to do. So they're running a little bit late, but they will be on. So I would like to at least get the show started where we can get into our first topic. So I do have a video to play. Let me get that on the screen for y'all. I do have a video, once I can find it. Okay, so this one, y'all, I do believe it's a sensitive topic in not only the Black community, but in America as a whole, which is one of the reasons why I believe that, why you even see the Senate trying to did overturn Roe v. Wade and things like that. I do believe that we need to start getting into deeper discussions about single motherhood, the fact that of why women and men are not choosing to procreate like we did back in the day. And also, specifically in the Black community, why it is it's almost like a thing to promote being a single mother. So I would like to get into just, different parts of that discussion. Here's one. I'm going to play a video from a young lady. After, let's feel free to start the panel and have the discussion.
I'm gonna tell you the real tea on if you're a single mom and you're dating, why it's actually like good for you, because you can pick such a good partner. One, you have like no time for BS. Like as soon as somebody starts like messing around, you're actually just uninterested. You don't like to play those games anymore because you're like, I'm busy. Or you'd rather spend time with your kid. Like that's a sign. If you're hanging out with someone or dating someone and you'd literally rather be home with your child, you don't like them. Next. Another thing is if you used to like pick bad guys before, you're a single mom now, so clearly something was wrong with your judgment. Now it's like you have somebody, you are bringing someone else into the equation, so you just can't even like mess around with that kind of stuff. It's so much more responsibility on your shoulders. Like you're not just playing with your own heart, you're playing with your kids, so you're protecting your kids' heart too. So you choose such better quality people than you would if you were just like yourself. Like you don't have room to mess around in that way, And because you have such little free time, you're actually good to spend time by yourself. So like if somebody's not like really making you so happy, you're good to be on your own. Happy dating.
Okay. All right. So so with this video, the reason why I chose to play it, right, is because what I feel is I definitely do agree that single mothers have to have higher standards, right? Especially now that there's a child involved. So yeah, the mistakes in dating and men they would have chosen in the past, they can no longer make those mistakes. The biggest thing that I have with this though is I feel as if single mothers do need to talk to women that have not had children yet to let them know that, hey, listen, this should not be a thing. It is not cool. Let's promote marriage before you carry, because it is a problem and it's not this thing you should look forward to after the baby's here. After the baby's here, for you to now say, I need to raise my standards. Raise your standards before you become a single mother. So, with that being said, let's start the conversation.
Man, who gonna get up first to bat?
I'm like, flip a coin.
But I was
like,
yeah.
I'm
So,
a cleanup hitter.
so the part I'll comment on first is as far as having the mindset before you become a single mother, right? Damn, you already got a comment. It's having that mindset before you become a single mother, right? But there's a quote that I've heard before that goes like, to know something and not do is to not really know at all. So I think some people lack the intelligence, the experience, they lack discipline, they lack basic foundational values that lead them into those decisions. And you may even have an idea like, okay, obviously you don't want to be a single mom. It's not good to do that, right? Nobody wants to be that. But you walk into it anyway based on your decisions. And it's usually to a lack of knowledge in most cases. Because it's all ignorance, right? It's ignorant to make those kind of decisions. And that comes from a lack of knowledge.
Okay. Yes, my brother.
Why you smile?
I don't know. I'm looking at you like, what are you doing?
My first time. It's my first time.
I'm analyzing everything. I'm listening, and I'm saying, you know what? I'm gonna just let everybody get it out first before I just come on and put the villain cape on and just knock everything down. So,
Just real quick. So what I want to say, no, just not to be too wordy, to give disrespect. I think when people go into relationships, right? When people go into dating, most people are afraid of their skeletons. They're afraid of their own skeletons, right? So when you go into a relationship with someone, you're going to hide those skeletons because you want to impress this person. You want to show them the best version of yourself. And I think that is the mistake that most people make in entering relationships, whether there are children involved or not. And especially when there are children involved, you have to be completely transparent with who you are as a person, with your likes, your dislikes, your boundaries, so on and so forth. And I think, and being forthwith with the ugly stuff about you, right? Because it's the ugly stuff that you want the person to ultimately accept about you, because the rest of the world will not, right? And when you have children involved, it definitely does heighten it, but not just for the woman. Because I'm a dad as well, and I just started dating somebody new, right? And I have a daughter, so the women that are impressionable around my daughter, I have to be very skeptical and very cautious about who I'm having around her as well, because like I said, I got to make sure that she's protected and that nobody's influencing her in a negative way. So I think it's on both spectrums, but I think in dating in general, just most people, if not, and y'all know what I'm talking about, because it's that one skeleton, that one secret that you got. That if you told that person or that skeleton, that if you said it, they would look at you differently. They wouldn't love you the same. And most of us withhold that information from our partners. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I'm going to read this comment from Jason Drummond. He said, most single mothers don't have great options in dating, especially if they haven't worked on themselves in a way that can benefit a relationship and are only in survival mode.
I mean, all right. So I'm gonna respond to that question. I mean, look, we can all sit up here and we can punch down on single mothers and everything, but that wasn't even the topic at hand. The topic at hand is like, why is it that it seemed like it's championed and paraded as a good thing to become a single mother? What's leading to that? And what's leading to that, what I'm seeing today is just literally what's promoted into the culture by way of music, media, what they're watching on TV, all of this stuff. And, I mean, you see it on today's shows. Well, I don't need no husband. All I need is a baby, and I'm good. The state gonna take care of me. They got this stuff literally in lyrics and all of this stuff. So, what was that?
Yeah, it's a feedback for some reason, and the feedback sound like it might be coming from you.
Me?
Let me mute my mic.
No, that wasn't me.
I don't know.
All right, but it sounds like it's good now. Sound like we good now. Oh, what's that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. So look.
Yeah, it's you.
Anyway, it's me. All right, we're going.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna land my plane real quick. We're gonna fix this. But basically, it's coming from what they're watching. You know, who are raising. You know, all the things that they're learning. All of it from glorifying being single moms and all of that stuff. And then a lot of it comes from by way of trying to trap that one dude that they can't change. They always think that keep a nigga baby gonna work, and it never does. And now you fucked up in the game once you have his seed.
Yeah, and I can agree with that because I mean I literally right before I got on here I was on a phone call with one of my old guy friends from high school and we were just talking about the podcast and stuff like that. And we ended up getting into just talking about like the culture and how for us in particular our culture for I don't we'll have to date it back to just different historical events. But I mean, we definitely carry that trope of like, oh, single mom, like this is cool, this is fun. You hear it in music, you see it on TV, you hear it from the actors. You also do hear it from men though as well, because men, most people in the music or entertainment game, you could say have been led by men in different ways. You know, you hear a lot about how they even value women, how you can just pass them around and how you can do all of these things. And women, you could take Amber Rose for an example. I know this is crazy, but I know when she did something a couple years ago called the Slut Walk, and she did an interview with somebody called the Fallen State, and he was asking her, "What is this? What is this that you're telling women to own their inner slut and parade it around?" Was that Amber Rose's idea was that she's taking the shame out of it. Is that if I can take the shame out of this, you can no longer look at me and say you're devaluing yourself as a woman. You a hoe. You ain't nobody. So it's like in a way, women parade this banner of single mothers around because a lot of them too want to take the shame out of the poor decisions that they've made. That's also what I think it comes from.
Okay.
Oh, we can't hear you, Professor.
I know. I had to unmute the mic. No, I think the shame needs to come back. I think we need to. Yeah. I think we need to put a scarlet letter on these chicks, right?
Put a whole scarlet letter on them.
Whole scarlet letter on them, because at the end of the day, it's not what you're supposed to be doing, and it shouldn't be acceptable. But I also know women in their 30s who go have kids by themselves, go get sperm donors, and it's like, why are we doing that? Why are you putting your kid in a negative situation? We have seen for 20 plus years the negative effects that it has in a single parent household, especially a single mother household, and we keep perpetuating that same thing. We have to go back and say, listen, no, you can't do that. And those girls that want to go have kids without fathers should
Hold on one
have a
second.
scarlet letter.
Guru, I think that feedback
You
might
think
be
it's
coming
from
from
me?
your mic.
Let
Yeah,
me
because when you unmuted just now, it came right back.
okay, so let me actually get on the app rather than this aspect. I'll be right back. All right.
Okay,
I got
bro.
you. Yeah.
Told y'all it wasn't me. I'm vindicated.
All right, Shaggy.
Yeah, so you hear that
Yeah.
now it's gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what
I'm a free man.
Lindsay
All right, get back to it. I just wanted to say I was innocent.
No, and you're right. I mean, but see, I can't give women a pass when it comes to having kids out of wedlock. You can't give them a pass. Like you can't say, well, it's society. You can't say, well, it's videos, it's this. Yes, you see that, but I can look at Cardi B, who had a kid in a marriage.
Yeah.
And so, she's perpetuating that type of situation. God dang, Guru. But no, but she got married before she had her kids, so it can be done the right way as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's another comment from Mongol Santini from Brazil says, we live in the don't judge me era. The removal of judgment equals the removal of morals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will say to that, people also feel like, which is kind of steering off topic, but people also feel like that they can create their own morals and values, and so that justifies their actions as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe Tanya, you had some input on it. Tanya, you're on mute. There we
Yeah.
go.
So, how many of us in this panel were raised by single moms? Rachel.
I was after 11.
Well,
my father died.
It doesn't matter the age.
I was in the system.
Yeah.
I had like 5 of them, 30 of them, whole bunch of mamas. Crazy.
Mom, chill.
Culturally,
I was. That's what happens.
Are you like a foster child?
Oh, I was raised in the system, so basically the only
Hold
type of
on.
people.
Let Tanya get the word out.
Right. Yeah.
I could go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tanya. Go ahead. We're listening.
Tanya, finish.
What I was saying is, how many of us were raised in a single parent household? Raise your. Okay. So my thing is, growing up, we saw the struggles. We saw the bad parts of it, right? We saw the lack of what is nowadays. It's glorified because the finances are right. We may not agree with the choices, but the guys are to play because if people are in action, there are consequences for those actions. So why is it always, oh, the single mom is glorifying it, but we're not talking about the dude who just left his whole.
Well, so
wait.
But at the same time, like culturally, it's like we can't. It happens. Like
your audio is going in and out,
Oh,
so we can
I thought
hear
it was
you,
just
but
me.
it's kind of like no, it is going in and out.
Yeah.
okay.
I was trying to fake the funk.
I heard, but I get the gist of what she was saying.
I
And,
do too. I do get the
what
gist.
she was saying was, why are we just putting? Now, Tanya, you correct me if I'm wrong. Just because you had the audio issue, you were saying, how come some of the blame is not put on the father who left the home, and why is it just mainly landing on the single mom that's glorifying it, right?
Right, because I don't think it's necessarily glorifying it if back in the day when they didn't have the resources or finances to be a fully single mom, versus now you have these people who are making, financial levels that are sometimes higher than the man who left. So I don't think it's glorifying all the way. I think some women are just secure with being a single mom. Like, I could see that side.
And I'll go after you, Hayes.
Go ahead, Hayes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so sorry about that, by the way. So
That's
when you
that
go to
New
court,
York
right?
noise, right?
Well, I thought they was coming for him.
Right.
But when you go to court, right? It don't matter how much influence a father has on the child. When you go to court, the mother is deemed the primary custodial parent, right? By law. That's how it goes. It don't matter. The father could have done significantly more for the child before they went to court. I'm talking about financially as well as time. And even still, the judge will still deem the mother as the primary custodial parent, correct? She could be a crackhead until they figure out, and no, seriously, until they figure out if she is deemed fit enough to take care of the child, she is considered the primary custodial parent, right? When it comes to abortions, right? I think women should have every right to make every single decision on an abortion.
Let's not use that word on you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You can say AB.
When it comes to, you know what I'm talking about, right? We can edit the video. When it comes to, you know what I'm talking about, right? Women make the ultimate final decision. It could be, it don't matter whether you want it, whether you don't want it, don't matter. She makes the final decision. So my thing is just like, I just want to make sure that we holding people accountable, because it's like when it benefits you, right? When everything's in your favor, it's like, oh, everything's okay. When I'm collecting child support.
No.
The police got him.
Well,
let me
say something.
He was right at the finish line too, boy.
And the police just came and said, "Yo,
He just got him, cut his shit off."
But see, here's the thing.
All right, go ahead, Professor.
Prior to I think 1965 or 67, men got the children, and when the relationship split up, the men got custody of those kids. So there wasn't a bunch of single mothers prior to the 1960s. In addition to that, I think when a kid is created, it's both parents' fault. But when a kid is born, it's the woman's choice. There's multiple forms of birth control.
Yep.
If we're in the middle of having sex and I take the condom off and you say no, I'm not doing that, and I continue to do that, that's a charge. That's something totally different. That's a legal action we can take, because now you told me I have to stop doing something and I continue to do it anyway. That's a legal action that can take place. So if that kid is, and then if you want to take care of that child a different way prior to being born, I have no rights in that as well. So I can't say, please don't do that, because I can't stop you from doing that. You can do that anyway. So if a kid is born and the kid is here, that's a woman's responsibility there. After that kid is here, it's both parents' responsibility to be there. And a lot of women can't be mad about their, like I have family members who are mad at their situation because they had a kid out of it, and the kid suffers from that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's and that's my own family member. In my personal situation, my daughter's mother took some, you know, she was mad at, well, I don't know if she was mad at me, but she made it very difficult for me to want to see my child. And we lived in different states, we still live in different states. So you have those situations as well. So, you know, it's not always the man leaving the household. There's a lot of times when it's the woman being spiteful and not wanting you to be in that child's life. Or I don't need you, or I can do this. But again, going back to what I previously said, the woman didn't get the child prior to the 1960s. The man did.
All right. So I want everybody to remember this for Professor, because we're gonna come back and touch on this, because I'm gonna break it down why it is, you know what I'm saying, that she chose to leave, even though, you know, and she's punishing you by not letting you see. I'm gonna break it down for you so y'all can really understand, so that we don't have to keep going back over the same thing with nobody talking about the actual answers. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to point out too, when everybody said how many people was raised by single mom, guess who didn't raise their hand? Lindsay, the white woman, the only white woman. She ain't had to raise her hand because she had both parents. I just wanted to point that out.
But let's get into it.
I didn't raise my hand, so.
Oh yeah, okay. And Jess, I was just saying. I was just saying. Oh, what? I was just saying.
It wasn't a healthy relationship either, though.
Y'all missed the whole point. But anyway.
No, because that's the problem that happens when you generalize. You kind of make that mistake.
No, you missed the whole point. The white woman ain't really have to go through a lot of things that we go through.
But
right? Their homes don't have to deal with the stuff that we have to deal with.
I also had both of my parents as well.
Shit.
And actually, I had
all right. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. I was just saying. That was the whole point, y'all. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to what Miss Tanya was saying. I know. Damn. Jesus, on this Sunday. Anyway, I wanted to get back to what you was talking about. You know, the reason why we don't sit up there and try to put the blame on the man, because it was the woman's choice in the first place to lay with that dude. It's a woman's job to protect the community by making sure they don't let weak, dusty dudes reproduce. And I've been saying this. Now, it is your responsibility that you chose to lay with that dusty dude. He's been with you for how many years and he ain't progressed or was productive? Baby, that's your choice. That is your choice, because you are the guardian to our community. You are. Your womb your womb holds everything. And if you allow a dude to go in and
after the fact,
because I'm gonna tell you what, here's the thing. Yeah,
he should.
There we go.
I'm just speaking in a general consensus
because I mean, okay, yeah, the bottom line is he should have been your husband, but he's not. So the point that I think Professor was saying is, I don't know anybody else, but I think Professor was saying was that you still have a responsibility to that child, period. Despite how we got here, when there's a new life born, you have a duty, you have a responsibility, and you have a job to carry out. You know, and if you dusty or not, I feel like a man should always care about his seed. Whatever relationship y'all have, you should never fight. You should never stop fighting to make sure that you can be in that child's life. Because when they get older, the child is going to be able to see whatever discrepancy was going on behind the scenes. But if they also find out that you did not fight to be in their life, or you didn't actually do anything further, they don't want nothing to do with neither one of you. So now you have another person added to this world, don't got no guidance from their mama, their daddy, and they don't know shit. And now they out here, and 9 times out of 10, they go and recreate that same pattern, that same cycle.
This is
Yeah.
why I'm pro. This is why I'm pro. This is why I'm pro mandatory DNA testing at birth. You know, and a lot of women seem to be like, you know, moving against it. And I'm like, why are you moving against it? If your lifestyle, you know, is exemplary, then you shouldn't have an issue with that. Mandatory, it leaves out the questions like a man having to question even a wife or whatever if they've been unfaithful, or even someone you're in a relationship with. Have mandatory DNA testing, and it'll be set at the beginning, even, you know, the whole saying, mama's baby, father's maybe. No, it'll be definite at birth, and then whoever the responsibility needs to go for, it goes to.
I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%. Because it's about transparency, and that's what I led off with initially. It's just about transparency on both ends. And before I got cut off, I was just saying that we just need to hold each other more accountable. Because, like I said, women benefit from children ultimately over men, regardless of, like I said, who's doing more in the child's life. In the eyes of the court, in the eyes of this country, and how our system works, the mother is more fit. Period.
Now, I disagree with that too, though. I think it's whichever family.
Let me just finish the thought. Let me finish the thought, and you can go ahead. No problem. Because I'm not really basing it off on like my opinion. It's more so on facts. If you look at moms and you look at the court system, go look at the numbers. That mothers have more custody of children initially before they even end the trial, before they even go into the trial. Mothers are given primary custodial rights, regardless. So you can file at the same exact time, and they'll still give the mother the custodial right because of the womb and because of the process that is the connection with the child. So let's not forget that the woman is automatically going to be more connected with the child, even down to the part of empathizing with the experience with the child. You're feeling the child being created inside of you. We have to connect to the child when it comes out of you. We can do our best to try to feel it, but you can actually feel the child being crafted inside of you. And then when it comes out, it needs your bosom, right? If I didn't have formula, if we were in the wilderness somewhere and I didn't have access to formula, I would have to rely on you to give nurture to the child. So the responsibility of a child is primarily the mother's. The father is an assistant to the mother, but it doesn't look that way when it comes to finances. When it comes to finances, now it's, this is 50-50, or you got to do more. But when it comes to responsibility, receiving benefits, then it's usually the mom.
So, and the reason why I said, in a sense, why I didn't agree per se, and it's not necessarily not agreeing, because of course it's a given because of how the structure of things are now. But what I'm saying is we live in a space too, which a lot of fathers do not utilize, that if they do go and say something to, you know, even go to the courts and say something, they can have rights. Even if it's 50-50, they can have rights. Now, unfortunately, sometimes, a lot of the times, men are not even on the birth certificates where they can even pull these rights. So that's why it's like, that's where that goes. So because it's like a toss-up of even who can go on that birth certificate and all that, it leaves the father's space in a little bit of limbo. But he can, if he actually push for it, he can actually have access to rights. And we're seeing that a lot more in a lot of these court settings, where fathers are actually taking, going for their rights for the child when the mother is unfit. Even otherwise, even if it's for 50-50 or whatever the situation is.
I
so
agree.
It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like they have more rights, but then a lot of them, when they get the rights, they do not want it. They do not want it, actually want it. There are many that do, though, and they're doing it.
Yeah.
I agree with the court system. It's definitely changing. I agree with the court system actually changing. It's still, though, a lot of it has to do with what glorifying, because when you glorify it, you take away from the actual importance of family, right?
Yeah.
Facts.
So
Facts.
which was what the question really was, right? What it means to have a family. So when you look, and when the younger woman sees an older woman saying, hey, look, because I understand what Tanya was saying, right? She was basically having the same talking point. Technically, I heard a lot where it's like, well, what about the men? What about the men?
Yep.
Well, okay. We're not glorifying being single dads. We're not glorifying what it is. I solely believe that it lands on a woman to protect her womb and make sure she makes the better judgment to find a husband before procreating. And we could keep dating back to that being outdated or old thing, but it's really not. And it's the best thing for a family. When we look at the glorifying of it, is what this young lady that I showed in the video, what she's pretty much doing is, well, now I need to raise my standards. So after you had all the low expectations for a man you gave the highest honor to, now your standards are so high for the next man that's gonna have to come in the door and take care of another man's family.
But that goes back to my point though. Like, not everybody makes sometimes fatal. Everybody has their downfalls and their mistakes. So I don't feel like that once you listen, we would all consider her a complete fool if she got on there and say, well, I'm gonna just look for another baby daddy and another one and another one and another one. But if she got on there and said, you know what, I really did this, I messed up my life, I had a child, I don't got no husband, I need to clean up, and I need to get myself straight if that's the end goal. Because now I realize that my actions were not conducive to the lifestyle that I actually want. Reality has hit me, and now this is the pathway that I want to take. I don't understand how, we can even try to hold something like that over somebody's head when they try to make the right choice later on. Because not everybody no longer common. Not everybody is educated. Not everybody even has real parents in their life for real. So I don't understand that when people have a major downfall, when they do their best to turn that around.
Yeah.
Why are we saying, oh well, now you want to have high standards? And no, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to F up and learn.
Right.
Absolutely not. Oh, you know what? You go ahead.
I think it's preventative arguments
well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
You're right. Go ahead.
If that's what you're supposed to do, where does shaming come in? So if that's what you're supposed to do in life, is fuck up. How do you reconcile inserting, hey, why? Because I've heard you agree and say, hey, there should be shaming. Where does shaming come in then?
Shame comes in because you have accountability and you can admit that was something dumb as hell that you did. And that you fit right in, that you could have been considered what y'all say a pookie. You could have been laying down. You did lay down with a pookie. That's where the shame comes in, is that you can fully admit to your faults and
No. No. That's what you're describing.
Because listen.
No.
When it comes down,
listen, it doesn't work that way.
When it comes
No.
Hold
It's not happening like that. No.
Randy. One mic.
Listen, it's not happening that way. It's not happening that way. It's not happening today. I have to interject. You're not going to monopolize the conversation.
Well, let one person talk.
Hold on. I have to mute both of y'all. Hold on. I have to mute both of y'all. One mic, right? So Miranda, 1 second. Let him, because you were talking and you did throw out like a rhetorical question. So whether you wanted him to answer,
but he asked me a question though.
He did, and then you replied, and then
I wasn't finished. I don't think,
but okay, all right. But the thing was, y'all were both here, so I kind of need y'all to.
Because he over-talked me. So you're a guest on the show, and if you come and ask me a question,
man, listen, man, you ain't gonna start that guest nonsense, because I get to speak too. I get to speak too. You have to understand that. It don't matter, man. All that you're a co-host, and I'm a guest. That don't mean you can overtalk me. It don't, dog. Listen, man, that don't mean nothing. I get to talk. That don't mean nothing. I'm telling that right.
Look. This is not good for the show. No. Hold on, Randy. This is not good for the show, right? We need to at least be able to have.
He's triggered.
No, because
you mind if I
both.
Interject?
Hold on.
Can I
hold on 1 second. 1 second, Hayes. Let me just get a little bit of order here, real quick, brother. So we got to have the conversation, but the conversation needs to be had respectfully, right?
Yeah.
if he's saying if it was a question and he wasn't done asking, I don't know. I don't remember verbatim. But so then if the question wasn't done, let's see what he has to say. Let's allow him to finish it, right? Because we're both here right now. After he finishes it, then you could respond, and then I would like Hayes to
He's not gonna have nothing to say, but go ahead. He's not gonna have nothing to say.
See, this is what you think you can just run your mouth because you feel like you're a co-host. That's how you operate. This is how you need to muzzle her mouth, because at times she's very disrespectful. You're a dog mouth woman that need to be put in check. All right? You're a dog mouth woman that need to be put in check.
You have an issue because I have authority on the
dog. Come on.
This is
no. You don't know how to stop.
Hold on, Mingo.
You don't know how to stop.
No,
you don't know how to stop. You did the same thing to Kent. You're not gonna do that to me. But you're not gonna do that to me. Yes, I could talk.
Though it's happening right now.
Because you're a dog mouth loud woman that don't.
You don't have any facts though. You have insults. You don't have any facts. Miranda. You don't have any facts.
Randy. I need. This isn't getting. If you're gonna constantly hold on, if we're gonna say co-host, host, whatever, we have to be professional. So if the guest, no, hold on. But if the guest is in our house, and I'm allow the guest to just finish. Guru calling her a dog mouth woman. That's over the top. That's disrespectful.
He doesn't have anything to say. That's all he knows how to do.
But
no, I do have a lot to say. That's me shaming you. Remember when you said bring shaming back? No, that's me shaming you.
That's not shame.
Yes.
So all right. No. So
definitely is.
All right. So the question is, where are we going with this conversation? Yeah, we are not going nowhere if everyone is up here. No. Bring it to a level place and have the conversation, or I'll just end the damn stream and we can go on to next week. Like, let's keep it real. Let's have a conversation like adults. Seriously. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so go with what you don't have to say, and so I can respond. Because then I'm about to
see. Look at this dog mouth nasty woman. Notice what she said, but you don't want to say nothing to her. Notice what you just did. This dog mouth nasty woman. Notice how she throws shots. Notice what she's doing.
What were you gonna say, man?
Nah, man. No, I'm gonna pivot out of it. We can move on to something else.
Go ahead.
All right, let Hayes. All right, so Lindsay or Hayes. No, I know Hayes has something to say. So, Hayes,
but Guru has something to really get off his chest.
No. Hey,
Miranda.
Miranda can't stop. What's backing down? Because you are a disgusting person. I don't feel like interacting with, so I might as well pivot somewhere else. That's it. That's how it goes. Right. You are a. Let me tell you something. You are a demon possessed person.
Y'all are both dominating the conversation. Y'all are both dominating the conversation. Honestly, you're supposed to, when you have constructive communication says, I put a 30-second cap on my dialogue, right? Now you have to put a 30-second cap on your dialogue. You guys are not putting into your own heads that I should have a time limit on how much I speak. You have to give the floor to other people. It's not that you don't have articulate things to say, but you cannot go off on a run-off sentence and expect people to be able to chime in on every single point that you make. Make 2-3 points and be done with it and then revisit. Don't make 7 or 8 points in a 2-minute dialogue or soliloquy and then expect to be able to come back and with articulate thoughts. We have to chime in. Put a cap on yourselves. I just wanted to say briefly that this system, this United States country, is forcefully making us against each other, right? They before they used to take the babies from us directly and bring it to another plantation. Now what they do is they give us food stamps, they give us beneficial things to the woman to be able to survive on her own accord, where she feels like she doesn't need a male component, right? Yeah. And when she doesn't need a man to do anything for her, now the need to work through problems and the need to work through concerns is lessened because she doesn't have to do it. And that's what I'm going to say out of respect, just to give people the floor, because I have more to say, but I'm going to be quiet because I'm pretty sure somebody has something else to say.
Mm-hmm. I respect that. Lindsay, chime in. I know this is a lot. This ain't never happened before.
Too much.
I'm gonna just sit back and be non-confrontational, just watching the eat my popcorn.
Hey, she's like, this is not something I saw at the barbecue or on the basketball court.
Hey,
That barbecue, right?
if it's too hot for you, you gotta get out the kitchen. If it's too hot, you gotta get out the kitchen.
I'm just watching. We like a big fire. We like a big fire, I think the one thought that I had from the very beginning was that when she was like, okay, I need to now raise my standards, I think a lot of people are bringing in unhealed, unrecognized traumas into a situation, whether it's a relationship and whether a child results from that relationship. And, like Miranda said, like, we do have to screw up in order to learn. And hopefully, the idea is to recognize things before a situation and a child is brought into it. But that's not always the case. We have to look at the examples that we've had. We have to look at, what is portrayed in the media. I might not have had the best example of a parent, which that shows me what I don't want to be as a parent. Some people have one parent to learn from, and they do an amazing job because they do put that child in different situations and involve great people into their lives. But at the end of the day, like, it's hard to be a parent. And so you do recognize a lot of things that might be broken within yourself that you're bringing into that parenthood. And, it might not necessarily be just raising your standards, but we have a lot of healing to do as people. And so that was just my thought on it. You guys went off into like a different tangent, but I just think people need to heal, and I didn't recognize areas in which I needed to heal until I spent too much time in a relationship that I didn't need to be in. And thankfully, I did make choices that kept my relationship childless. Not everybody has the ability to take birth control and so on and so forth, but there are choices that you can make to protect that idea of like children are supposed to be raised with a family. Like, I very much believe that. I do want to be in a marriage before I bring a child into the situation, but that's just not always the case. Sometimes it's tragic, sometimes it's mistakes, but we just got to heal. That's all.
But we do all understand though that if we have unprotected sex, a baby can come from that, right?
Yes, the system works how it's always worked. But like, you have to sit down and like recognize that the system doesn't change. Like, oh, I don't know how it happened. Well, you put this and that and like did something, and that's what makes a baby. Like, but so I think that's what the conversation is about. I think the conversation is not really it's about the culture that seems to be coming about where people are glorifying. You have the sexy reds in their in their hospital beds twerking and doing all this kind of stuff, and this baby mama culture that's being glorified. So the thing is about prevention. We're trying to prevent our the generations from getting into this whole thing about glorifying that lifestyle, rather than even the oops that people happens to people that that people talk about. We're talking about prevention, not glorifying it, not making it something where it's okay, and that's where more so what we're focusing on. So even if whatever your situation was personally, sorry about it and everything, but what we're trying to do is kind of put that shift in society where it's not something where young girls are aiming for, like we see in a lot of the culture now today.
Yeah. And I just want to say, like I said, I just want to make sure that we're staying away, because I don't think it's necessarily glorification that is the main problem. It's more so of an attack on people of the African diaspora, right? And I just want to make sure that we're clear on what's happening behind the scenes in this system and in this government. They're enabling women who are of minority or who are in poverty. They're enabling them to survive on their own accord without a man. And therefore, they feel like they can, right? If I know I can go get food stamps, if I know I can go get Medicaid or some Similac for some cars and go to the grocery store. But if I needed a man to do that, if the government never gave me any of that, and I needed my man to go get, I needed that income, right? It would change the landscape of things. So, like, I very delicate with my people, because there's glorification and then there's just an attack on our people that has been going on for years that we just haven't been able to shake.
Well, let's let Johnson, if you look at the Moynihan report, they couldn't figure out why when black male employment went up, black female reliance on the government went up as well. So that's something they put in, like you said, in the 1960s, where they don't want men in the household. Because I've had kids in middle school say, well, I want to have X amount of kids because I get X amount of dollars from the government, and that's the kind of mindset middle school kids are having these days. And that's a terrible mindset to have, because they're already like, I'm planning to bring kids into this world in a negative situation because I know the government's gonna take care of me. But that happened in the 1960s as well. If you look at the Moynihan report, look at what LBJ had coming on, a lot of those things happened in the 1960s.
Okay, so I this be the problem with a lot of folks, man. We want to sit here and talk about what the system is doing. We already know that shit been happening since I was born, since you was born, since our grandparents was born. We already know that. You want to know what's going to strike or invoke change and what's going on is if men just shut the fuck up, pull their goddamn pants up, and start building. All this other shit is just a bunch of niggas complaining. That is the only way you're going to change how women are moving today, is if men get on accord and start building and moving. That's it. All this, oh man, they got the law, the system for doing this back in the day. So what? Our grandparents was going through that and they still had way less than us and still made it. But we sitting up here today in 2024 crying like a bunch of hoes.
Well, our grandparents didn't have that though. If you think about it, our grandparents were proud of 1960.
Oh, goddamn.
I'm just saying,
right.
you can say what you want. You can build all you want to, but who you building with?
What do you mean? Who am I building with?
Who are you building with?
I'm building right now. I'm building myself up so I can obtain the resources to take care of a household, sir. You need to build yourself up. And see, the reason why a lot of dudes are getting left is because they ain't that dude. So that chick is like, yeah, I got a baby by you, but you ain't that dude. I don't trust you, so I'm out. So now that's where that's
okay. Go ahead, Hayes.
You have points. You have valid, because I hear what he's saying. Ultimately, he's saying men need to step up and just take onus of responsibility to show that they're leaders. I get it. However, sometimes the process takes longer for others, right? I might have more will than this or more education than this other individual. It doesn't mean that he doesn't aspire to be great. It just means that his timeline might be different than mine. So maybe I was able to sustain by when I was 32, 34. Maybe he wasn't able to do it until he was 40, right? But it doesn't mean that he shouldn't still have a spouse. It still doesn't mean that he shouldn't be able to be care of a family and be a patriarch in a household. It just means
you know exactly what that means, sir.
No, you need to understand that it doesn't always necessarily mean you have to reach your pinnacle before you can have a woman. It means that you both have to understand that there is a process, it is a building process. And two, the one thing I will say that does get glorified is coming into a situation thinking that you're gonna receive the same thing that your friends and other people have. Like sometimes you got to start from the bottom where you don't have anything. There's no Gucci, there's no restaurants, there's no outings. There's in the house, there's all day inside and loving on each other inside. And a lot of the times, not only is that hard to process for women, that's also hard to process for men. So it's just about discipline. I think a lot of discipline needs to come involved, but it doesn't mean that you can't be in love and work through the trenches. Like I don't agree with that.
I bet you don't, but you go ahead and go out there and date, and you let me know how that works out for you. You'll be right back here on us telling us, man, that shit is fucked up.
Ahead of my household. I pay majority my woman. She right over there. So
I hear you. I hear you, but man, I don't talk relationships, man. I deal in nothing but power dynamics, sir. I can see the writings on the walls. All you gotta do is just tell me a couple things, and I already know your future. That's just how it works. But I get the flow to y'all. I'm just back to the show.
Well, I'll say this though. This is anecdotal, but I can say this. I'll take a famous person. If Denzel Washington waited to build, he wouldn't be Denzel Washington. Because Pauline, his wife, was the breadwinner. She paid for the first date. She was on Broadway. She was the one making all the money. She the one that quit her job to lift him up.
Oh wow!
And now she lifted him up, and he became Denzel Washington. Sheila Johnson. There may not be a BET with Bob Johnson because Sheila Johnson helped build BET with Bob Johnson. So there's certain things that are out there that they needed women to help them build, or was in the back. Steve
Bezos in the garage, bro. Steve Bezos in the garage.
Say it again.
I said Bezos in the garage. Him and his wife had a garage working out at a thing. She let him work out the garage.
Correct. So if these people waited to build and get themselves together, we may not have what we have.
Yeah, I hear you,
definitely
man.
matters the woman that the man chooses to be in his life. I mean, she can be your
Mm-hmm.
uprise or your downfall. So
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
listen to what she's saying. She's telling you the truth, and in
But that's
coded
for
language.
anybody
But
though.
yes, she's telling you the truth. So hear me out. There is a power dynamic at play. Pay attention. So when a man gets with a woman, right? There's only a certain type of woman that is going to ignite the fire in this brother to go out here and slay the goddamn dragon. And that's a woman that is fully secure in her femininity. You know what I'm saying? Like your grandma, your great
Right.
grandma, you will beat the bricks off somebody they ever disrespected her because she exuded femininity. A part of femininity is selflessness. That's the type of woman that you go out here and slay the dragon for.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Now that
So that's why I did listen. So that's why Denzel became Denzel, because he went out here and slayed the dragon for that woman. All right. That's why that happened. All right. So yes, I get what you're saying, but my brother, you got to, you be thinking like all these chicks, all these women are like that. These
I
are
don't.
very
no, I don't
different.
think
No,
all
definitely
women
not.
are like
Yeah.
that.
I don't think that.
nobody said that.
Definitely not
Yeah,
like
I
that.
don't think
Oh, all right,
because
all
I
right.
don't.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
definitely
hey.
not all women are
My
like
bad,
that.
y'all. Woo.
No,
But
not at
I
all.
mean,
Oh man.
but you have situations too where you can be just say already married, and then some the husband can lose his job. Then what? Right? The woman's still gonna. Well, hopefully she'll still be there. But I've seen cases where the husband lost his job due to y'all stop. I've seen situations where the husband has lost his job due to XYZ or whatever, and the woman held down the household until he got another job or got it together. But you don't just up and like leave. You know what I
Right.
mean? So again, that goes back to the type of woman that the man selects to be in his life. So yeah.
Somebody said they
Listen,
miss Quint in the comments.
yeah, they miss Quint. Everybody missing Quint. But
Bye.
Quinn had to go because it got too hot in the kitchen.
so I truly believe that what it takes, having a strong woman, having a woman that is down, that's behind you and all that. Yo, for men, it's an awesome thing. And any successful man that was with his wife from day one can attest to that, right? Like I said, I have to look at it like I know people that's highly successful and they have that same story as well. And so do I. And I'm not highly successful. I'm not like no freaking millionaire out here. Hopefully soon that'll happen. But my wife stood by me when I had nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the question though. Did I get my wife's full submission and that whole feminine side when I was a broke dude? Nah. It was a push and pull, right? And I think the push and pull is natural when definitely when the opposite sex feels like we're on the same exact playing field, like we're doing the same thing. So if she has to go outside and work just as much as you might not get that same exact femininity from a woman as if you were the one that was, what's up, Hayes? Talk to me.
Yeah.
Come on, Hayes, spit it out.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
One thing that I
I'm
learned.
smelling 50-50.
One thing that I learned. Oh, no, I do what I do over here. I do what I do. I get a lot of money.
I'm just saying, brother. I'm just saying.
And listen, if you want to talk to my lady, she right over here. Trust me. I can verify.
You're fine, brother. Go ahead. Say what you said.
Submission is a natural thing that a woman has inside of her that she feels, period. Not for a particular man, but about herself. That femininity, that urge to want, like, let me give you an example. My father works, he's a Fed, he works for the feds, right? His wife has a job. She does not have to work. She's from El Salvador. She does not have to work. The woman works 50 hours a week. 50 hours a week and still comes home, rubs his back, does all the laundry, calls him her king. The same thing. I've seen it on the highest level. So when I hear women talking, chatting in my ear, oh, what I'm about to do, what I'm not about to do, I think about my stepmother from El Salvador who works 50 hours a week on her feet and still comes home and has submission to my father. You get what I'm trying to say? So it really had nothing to do with that. That's either you have or you don't it.
Or you don't. Now, I agree with you. I agree with you, brother. What I was saying when I said I didn't. Hold on one second, chill. What I was saying when I said I didn't have the full submission, meaning that there was okay, I'm gonna make a decision for the family, right? But at the time we didn't really have a kid, right? So it was like, okay, I want to make a decision for us. But it came with some, are you sure? Because you broke. You don't got it. So it came where it was like, okay, well, maybe we should make this decision as opposed to where we should go, other than saying, okay, listen, Mingo, you lead the family. And then you figure out where you want to go and I'll follow. So it's a difference in that. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about, I agree with you, a woman submission, femininity should just be something that's naturally in her. And if it's not, it's not. And it'll never be in her. No matter like what games you try to pull out your hat, it's not going to be there. Right. But yeah, I understand what you're talking about. But I think we were talking about just something a little different.
But let me just ask you a question, and I'm gonna just give the floor. When a lioness goes out to hunt for food and comes back, does she now protect that? Now her job is to protect the no. She still knows her role. She still knows, just because I'm out here hunting for the food doesn't mean that I don't know what time it is. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just because you're in a moment of downness where you can't support the family financially, it doesn't mean that you're still not the patriarch and the king that deserves submission and femininity. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So, sorry. So I wanted to go back to the part. Are we still talking about basically like the single mothers and how it's being glorified in a certain manner?
We could go back to that. We did veer off of that, but we could go back.
Okay, because I just kind of wanted to go back into the aspect of basically the entire idea of them glorifying it, right? Like I said, I gave the example of when Amber Rose was using that slut walk to basically take the shame out of her actions. When people parade stuff around that is obviously something that's not conducive to society, yourself, the data, the statistics is proven that this is not anything that should be uplifted and, throw confetti around for. People do that out of the action of not wanting to be shamed, right? So when you hide stuff behind the scenes, when you meet somebody and you don't tell them that, I think Hayes said it earlier, you have that one thing that you don't want to tell them because when you tell them, they're going to judge you immediately for it and they're going to look at you a certain way. So when people tend to hide things, or let's just say not bring it to the forefront, it could be a possibility of shame there, right? Because you don't want anybody to have any type of backlash of what you're saying. But when you parade stuff around and you're acting like this is cute and you have a little posse that's doing it, all of you are trying to avoid someone else beating you to the punch by saying what Chill be saying. You laid down with a pookie. You picked a dusty, basically. And now you don't want nobody to say, nigga, that was your fault. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but you don't want nobody to say that was your fault. You mad because you going out this baby daddy, baby mama drama, but that was your fault. And nobody wants to hear that, right? Because that's where that shame comes back to, at the fault of your own actions. So these women out here in society, and there is also an attachment to what's going on to the African American community as to why they're doing that. But that's just a piece I wanted to throw in there about as far as like shame and why even women are acting like this is something that's cute.
I mean, I agree. As far as shame, it's important, and it's important in every society. I mean, you look at like other cultures. If I have to think of one culture right now, I'm going to look at Middle Eastern culture, where if a woman moves a certain way, she is shamed not only by men, but by women, by the elders, by everyone, which will say, okay, well, young lady, do not, maybe you made the mistake, but the next young lady, don't do it, because that you don't want what happened to her to happen to you. Right? Maybe we shouldn't get to that point of some type of punishments that may happen in other cultures, but at least shame, right? The church used to bring shame to a woman. You couldn't sit in the front of the choir and be the church leader, the head deaconess, or whatever they call it, if you were a baby mom.
Yeah.
But that's no longer a thing. Now you could just go up in the front of the church with 5 kids and be like, "What's up? Praise Jesus."
Mm-hmm.
Should you be able to praise Jesus 100%? You should be able to. But you're not shamed. So it's like I could just have as many kids as I want by how many ever men that I want. And none of these kids have an active father because of the choices that I made, which I don't know what happened to the young lady that was on the panel before. But I wish she was here to address this, because what happens to women that are having 5 kids by 5 different men? Could we blame 5 men that left, or do we look at the one woman that had the kids?
Yeah.
Bingo.
I think regardless, whose fault or whatever, when you lay down with somebody, automatically you're both at fault, period. Automatically. Because you both come to an agreement. We all know that obviously when you lay down with someone, you're gonna have, that's basically procreation. You're having kids, or you're in the process of trying to make kids. So when you lay down and agree with that, you're just as at fault. Now, whether she knew you was a pookie, whether she was a thought, whether she was whatever she was doing, the point still stands, is that you both agreed to be here, okay? So now you need to deal with the consequences at hand. You are so funny.
What is he about to say?
You're literally at fault, my guy. Like, girl.
Okay. So I just wanted to add to it. Look, I'm with you on that. Okay, they are both at fault, because if they're having sex and they can possibly make a baby, yes, they're both at fault. But baby, you already know, if that dude willing to sleep with you unprotected already, and y'all ain't got no type of track history, and it's just a month, you're dealing with a poopy. And if you don't know, yeah, because he is telling you off rip, he ain't got shit to protect. He is willing to just put a dusty baby in you and fuck your life up for 18 years, and you done. You done.
But you know what's even crazier about that is that obviously there's still consequences, but the woman does reap more than what she thought she was gonna sow in the first place, because babies go home with mamas, not with sons, not with men. So the consequences on the woman's part can be more substantial for her, because you have to go out and now you got to find another man and all the other stuff you got to be talking about. But the consequences can be greater. The consequences can be greater for the woman. Yes, the downfall.
Yeah. Yes. It's over. I'm trying to tell you. Once that happens, once you let a dusty put his palms on you, baby, you ain't removing that dust. It's a wrap. You are now trapped in the dusty syndrome. Your dating options ceiling is right here. You don't go nowhere past that.
The baby's not dusty.
That's life.
Dusty baby.
No. Yo, listen, some babies are dusty. I don't know what you're talking about.
The baby's gonna grow up to be dusties. Look, they turn into dusties.
Those are the same.
They turn. That's how it works. They turn into the very individuals that you would not want to date. They do. You see them young ass dudes with the crop top, the mop, man. You know what I'm saying? With the single mom dudes, man. They all play basketball and football too.
With the saggy skinny jeans.
Yeah.
I agree, Professor. I said earlier that when you lay down and make a baby, when you have unprotected sex, you know what it is going into it. I agree. My only situation is, I'll give you an example, right? So you're dating a woman, and the condoms, they don't really go well with her because of the friction, and it goes off her pH, right? So she says, listen, hear me out. I'm giving you a real life scenario, right? Giving you a real life scenario, hypothetical, right? So she says, my pH is off. I can't use a condom, so we need to go unprotected. So let's go to the doctor, get checked, make sure that we good so we can have sex unprotected. You just pull out, right? In that situation, let's be for real. That happens.
That's still a risk. That's still a risk, though.
So
that's still a risk.
It's a risk. But let's say woman is also on birth control, right? But she has the pills, right? She got to take a pill every day, right? Birth control. If she misses a pill, and she tells out that she's on birth control and she gets pregnant, is it his fault?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because he was dumb enough to believe her in the first place. He was dumb enough to believe her in the first place.
It's not logical. Don't bring it.
Yes, it's fault.
Be something logical. Where's Lindsay? Give me
I'm
Lindsay.
about to. I got you. I'm gonna tell you.
his mind, yo. Lindsay, what's up with Dusty Babies? Lindsay?
I don't have Dusty. At the end of the day, the process works the same. Like, unfortunately, there are some people that can't have kids. But it's 50. I can't like force somebody to lay down with me, and vice versa. Like, if you lay down with somebody, there is always a risk that you will end up with a third party.
But I said, what if she misses a pill? Why is nobody acknowledging that? I said, what if she misses a pill?
I expect her to miss the pill.
Yeah, that would be her own downfall.
That would be a mistake, but like, did she lie about it, or did she just not say anything about it?
She lied.
Oh, that's definitely.
Nope.
But he still shouldn't believe her.
But also, at the same time, a man has to understand that, like, if you're laying down with someone, you're not married, you haven't known them for however long to really get to know them, like, you run that risk.
But
like, people lie all the time.
If she takes a pill, she doesn't get pregnant.
Okay, Hayes, you take.
That's not always the case, because if someone's taking antibiotics and they don't know that it's a counter effect to the birth control, you
Give me minimal examples. Talk about the majority.
That happens very often, actually.
Majority.
Hey,
you wanted Lindsay to answer to this one.
It really
you brought Lindsay. You said
it really just comes down to like the knowledge of what sex is, like reproduction. Like, we do have preventatives. They don't always work the same. And at the end of the day, it's a default on the person, because the person has to utilize it. Like, you have to use the condom. You have to take your birth control. I can't take birth control, and I still don't have a kid. So, like, I'm not just laying around with everybody, but I make the decisions of how I'm going to operate in my life. Like, I understand that I would run the risk of having a child if I had unprotected sex, so I don't do that. Not everybody operates that way. Yeah. And if you're in a relationship, not in a relationship, if you lay down with someone, the other party is responsible for their decisions as well.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Yeah.
So if you're running the risk of someone lying to you. I was in a relationship for 7 years. Like, I didn't know he lied to me, but that was a choice he made. And I still didn't end up with a kid. But at the end of it, like, I'm not telling him to lie to me. I'm trusting in that person. But also, that's his choice. 7 years. It was bad.
She likes basketball players.
But, like,
he was a basketball
player. She likes basketball players.
We're gonna have to analyze that later, Lindsay. I'm gonna put that on.
He's a really good liar, okay? Really good liar. But no, at the end of the day, your decision. Someone can lie to you, but you have to understand you're running the risk of that person lying to you or being honest. And like, if you aren't being protected, if you lay down with homegirl and you're like, oh, like, I'm on birth control, but like, you know, we could do that. Like, you could just pull out. I'd be like, hell no. Like, the pulling out method is not a method. So many
I don't even take condoms from girls.
So, Hayes, are you saying like it's her fault, like solely? Like, what's your position?
No, it's the dude's fault.
No, I'm saying in that situation, primary responsibility is on her, because they had an agreement before he entered anything. She said, I'm on birth control. It's okay to do. So because I'm being responsible with my body. And if she's being irresponsible with her body and they find out that she was irresponsible with it, it does take some onus away from the male and the decision, because he didn't go into it saying, you know what, I absolutely want to have a child. He's saying, I'm trusting the woman that I'm with, that she is taking the right contraception, listening to her doctor, and doing what she's supposed to do.
Yeah. Like, but at the end of the day,
you have to hold people accountable for their actions.
Yes, and if at the end of the day, if you're making a decision to lay down with someone, that should be someone that you, if you get stuck, like if you're in that situation, you need to envision that before that happens.
I'm not saying that you consequence. I'm saying at the end of the day, it's still wrong. And what is the solution? How do you resolve it? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You're not giving me any resolution. It's just like, hey, take it. It is what it is. What?
I mean, the way that you would resolve it at that point, though, the way that you would resolve it at that point is that both of you still gotta take care of that kid.
Yep.
That's just
Yep.
that's the ugly truth of it.
I
But
don't agree
she's
with
still
that.
gonna
I
have to
do
be a
not agree
mama.
with that. I do not agree with that.
What?
So wait. So are you saying are you saying that it would be okay for him to abandon his seed?
I'm saying it's okay for
Do
him
you
to
know husband?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You are saying that it would be okay for him to abandon his seed.
I said sign away his rights. If he did not want a child, and she is the reason why they have a child because she purposely didn't take birth control pills.
It's like
what would signing away his rights consist
Hell
of?
nah.
What would signing away his rights consist of?
You just sign away. You waive your rights. You go to the court, waive your rights.
And you don't have any. You don't.
Yeah.
They can't file for child support. They don't make any medical decisions like that.
So
He's
you're
putting
legally not the father.
So you're legally basically saying I don't want nothing to do with you.
He shouldn't find it to it because he didn't want it in the first place, and her reckless decision is the reason why they have it. That's why.
Hell nah, bro. Yeah,
no,
man.
but let me say something real quick.
That's dusty right there. That's dusty.
But it would be it would kind of the functional equivalency I was sitting there thinking about. It'll be no different. Kind of like, this is my question to you, Lindsay. Let's say that you and the man agreed to have sex, obviously with a condom, but he decided to poke holes in the condom without letting you know, and you end up getting pregnant. So what is your take on that?
I mean, again, the man is lying. I still made that decision. Like, if I'm laying down with somebody, that's somebody that somewhere along the lines I contemplated having a child with, and I'm going to reap the consequences regardless. Like, I'm going to take care of me and my own, but like, I mean, fuck him for like doing something stupid. Lying is lying, whether it's a man or woman saying it. Like, I don't care who it is, but like, you should have some sort of like guilt within yourself about lying and putting someone in that situation. At the end of the day, people don't always have that, but like, you know, like if I enter into that situation, somebody's got to be responsible for it. And you both decided to lay down. I didn't force you. You didn't force me. It's a decision.
But
so let me ask a follow-up question. Would you knock? Last question, follow-up question. Would you knock a woman who decides that because she did not want to have a child and he poked holes in the condom, that she wants to not have the child? Like, in other words, abortion or take a morning after pill. What's your take on a woman who wants to remove herself from such responsibility?
I mean, again, that would be their decision. Like, I'm very much pro-choice.
Yeah.
Like, mistakes happen. If you, with like morning after pill, that's different because that's like you can't take that you don't get pregnant within like a couple of days.
No, but do you agree? So would you agree with Hayes though? So now that you said that you're pro-choice, that you believe she could absolve herself of a responsibility that she didn't agree with, could the guy like Hayes say, absolve himself as well?
He can, but I just don't think that it should fall solely on one person by default. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
I was going to say this, and I don't want to take away from it, but I wanted to respond to something that Hayes had said. Like, Hayes' rationale to the whole thing, it seemed like, all right, so if I impregnate her and she lied about her birth control or missed it, now I'm responsible for a baby. But
I didn't say
miss it.
I didn't say missed it.
Then what'd you say?
I said purposely didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So again, that it still falls on you for being reckless, for going in a chick and you didn't want to have a kid with her without protecting it. That's you, man. And then let me tell you, the reason why I call it dusty behavior, because only dusty niggas do that because they ain't got shit to protect.
I got kids. You got kids? You got kids?
Hell no. No.
Fall back then. When you get some, let me know how.
Well, see, so hey.
No, I'm good. I like my money.
I do have a child, and I still will blame the guy for being in that situation, because if a girl says she's taking a birth control but she can't have condoms, now it's your responsibility to make that decision whether you're going to enter her or not. Okay, I can't work. The pH mess up my pH. Cool. So now I have to say, okay, do I want to have a kid with this girl, or do I not want to have sex with her?
That's not true. That's not the decision. You in that moment you say.
That's my decision though.
Contraceptives.
Right, I don't trust a woman to take her pill or wear IUD or take the shot. I don't trust a woman to do that. I don't trust the condom she gives me. I don't trust any of that.
You trust your partner and your sexual activity, bro. Why you can't trust your partner?
I just want to point out though, real quick, and then you can have it.
I don't trust that. It's hard for me to trust because you have to know who you're with. But at the end of the day, I know that this girl can get pregnant if I can't wear a condom with her. So I
let me say this real
whether I
quick.
trust her or not, whether I know she's taking girls forget to take that pill. So I have to take the onus on that. And at the end of the day, I can always sign my rights away. But if she gets pregnant, I will blame myself because I went into that knowing that I'm not going to wear a condom and I'm going to trust the pull-out method and her taking a pill. I'm trusting myself. So I have all the responsibility in that because I put myself in that situation.
It's accountability.
My daughter is here because I had a bag of condoms on the end of my bed that I chose not to use. That's my responsibility. I could have just easily went into a bag and got a condom. My daughter wouldn't be here. So me and her mom made that. Her mom and I made that decision.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I made that decision. And so, but
I kept
my daughter. My daughter's 20. I ain't had no more kids since then.
Yeah. Now I kept my daughter too. But what only point I'm trying to say is, it was no foul play going on. So and that's very different. So I knew that it was a risk associated when I was doing it.
Right.
So I can't make that excuse. But other men can. I know a lot of men who can and should have been able to sign away their rights and not be on child support right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
But I have a question to Hayes though, because since we're talking about real life situations or hypotheticals, because that does happen. The example that he gave. So what about the men that's out there that purposely come inside of a woman to get her pregnant intentionally and then leave her with that baby and run off? Because we do hear numerous stories that way, whether they're dusty or pookie or not. Should the man be solely responsible and be on all the child?
Get away from the camera.
What do you think of that? What is your take on that?
If they agree, if it is consensual and they both know the risks associated, there was nobody that said, "Oh, I was on birth control." The guy didn't poke no holes in the condom, and they both just had a reckless moment. That's totally different from somebody maliciously and purposefully altering the situation so that they can have a child.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what if however he manipulates the situation, what if he goes in and he intentionally does something to impregnate her and she finds out?
He said that already, but I think I'm sorry, brother. What was his name? Guru said that already. Guru already said that. Guru said exactly what you're saying. He said if he poked right, he poked.
I dropped off.
He wrong. He filed.
He's wrong for that.
Abortion. Because what you doing? Wait, I ain't tell you to do that. So you keep the condom on. What's wrong with you? So she should be abortion. And same thing. If she say I'm on birth control pills, but she know in her head I missed 2-3 pills, or I ain't gonna get my patch, or I ain't gonna get my shot, that should be verified, and he should be able to sign his rights away. Period.
Yeah, I'm gonna read this comment while it's still relevant. Kirsten said antibiotics, trapping, missing a pill, can't wear condoms, don't matter. You enter that cat unprotected, and 1 + 1 = 3. You consent to it, might as well pick out a name.
Well, there you go. You that baby's pappy. You can't run from it.
Yeah.
You the pappy, baby. Yeah. Go and get them diapers.
18
literally. As long as it's a double standard. As long as it's a double standard. I'm all for double standards. So make sure you don't go do what you got to do. Keep that too. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, I'ma just say this, man. I don't know. I gotta ask you some questions, man.
Because even with the comment.
Oh, what?
Oh no, I was talking to Hayes. I was gonna ask him how old he is.
35, bro. 35.
All right. And how old were you when you had your first kid?
My daughter's 9, so I was 24.
24. And what were you doing at that time in your life? What were you doing? Like career path? What were you currently doing at that time?
25. But during that time, I was working. I had a couple city jobs. I was a like independent contractor doing a lot of different things. I was making moves. I wasn't. We had a nice situation. Me and my daughter's mother. We were fine. We were good.
So what happened?
I mean, we get a little bit into me, but see, I'm more into women who like women. I had to learn that about myself as I got older. I'm not a person who but that's a whole nother thing. So,
hold on, real quick, Hayes. We have a super chat in the building. Okay. We have a super. Damn, man, I'm telling you, I need that set. It's quick. It's quick.
What up, quick?
I need that. real blessings, Quint. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, let's continue with the show.
All right. So to get back to that. All right. I know, right? I know we stopped, but all right. So I was asking him. And I was asking him, I was like, all right, so you was making some moves, things was going good, everything was good. So why did she leave?
I just told you I'm into women that like women. I was doing my thing. I was out in the streets. I was trying to find out who I was, and now I know who I am. But for a long time, I was trying to enter relationships. Not that I'm not monogamous, because I am monogamous, but I just like I said, I'm into women that like women, and I just my daughter's mother wasn't really into it to that degree, and I found myself, judging myself from my actions. In all actuality, I just need to go find what I wanted. But we have a very good cordial relationship. We're teammates. My daughter just got skipped. You know what I'm saying?
Teammates.
She's an African dance. She plays piano. My daughter's extremely intelligent. So
yay!
Yeah, so there's into the tunnel for me, and that's why I know I can speak on these matters, because I've experienced them. I've experienced that. I just got out of a relationship, 4.5-year relationship, with my daughter. I had a stepmother, so I could talk about those subjects. Like I'm pretty first.
I do like your intellectual consistency that you've met on the show. No matter what the question was thrown at you, you still had your same stance, and I like that.
Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah.
All right. You can take it to another point. I don't want to go in too much, man, because I ain't trying to wear the villain cape all the time, man. Be careful out there, Hayes, man. Be careful. Stop playing Russian roulette with them ladies, all right? Wrap that shit up.
And I will say, congratulations to the South Carolina Gamecocks for winning the championship. Don Staley, undefeated team. I'm a college basketball guy, so
undefeated.
Yeah. Undefeated. Nice. Never lost.
That's what's up. Yeah. So all right. So I have a question that I want to ask. This one is to the fellas on the panel, right? And then ladies, I would like for you to chime in after. It has a lot to do with the traveling, right? The woman that has 2 or 3 passports that's full. She saw the world. This is before she met you. Fellas, is that something that you would deem that you would find unattractive in a woman that has been around the world? Or would you, want a woman that's more like, I'll wait to do that with my husband? So, starting with the fellas in the panel, I like the answer from y'all first, and then ladies, please feel free to chime in.
All right, who want to go first? Because I'll take it. I already got my answer.
I don't mind.
Man.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Hey, listen, I'm just. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Only thing I'm gonna do with her is gonna be an easy layup. I will not be investing in her. We just gonna have fun, and I'm gonna let her know that off rip.
Bye.
Why do you? Why would you say that?
Because her cup is already full, man. That ain't gonna be too much that you're gonna be able to do to bring new experiences to her. Her cup is already full. Yeah.
It was
you know what I'm saying? See, here's the thing, man. Men, whether we know it or not, there is something that works within our biology that we search for with a woman. And that's a clean landing strip for us to imprint ourselves on. But if her cup is already fucking full, we ain't imprinting on nothing. So at best, easy layup. And that's about it. That's it.
Hit it with a euro. She's been a euro.
No, I mean,
every time you go on vacation, like, I remember when I was here with, like, nigga, who you here with? You take that many girls trips? Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
All right, I'm gonna say this. My lady now is she was raised in Spain for 8 years, and then she came and then her roots are African. She lived in Texas for a while. So she's a lot more worldly than I am. Me personally, I love worldly women. So a woman and has a lot to bring to the table. I mean, she's making different dishes in the crib. That means she's gonna learn how to love different, because I think there's different love languages even when you go overseas and you come back. I just think I don't know. I don't see a negative with that. Not with that. Like, yeah, I appreciate culturally diverse woman. Truly.
All right, Guru, what's your thoughts on that, my guy?
Yeah, I'm with Chill on this one. I think that more times than often, I'm not saying most men, I'm not saying all men, but most men value a woman that's inexperienced so he can be able to provide with experiences. No different from we understand that at times some women value men who do have experience, so that man has the ability to provide her experiences rather than an inexperienced man. And it becomes a slippery slope because at times we notice that there's some women who who travel all around the world and who are very highly promiscuous. They have sponsors and sugar daddies. So for me, I'll be quite, hesitant in terms of the means to which she's able to go all around the world and travel the world just in terms of the passport, like you said. So, that would be my concern if she's being sponsored by a sugar daddy or something.
So
Yeah.
my stance on it is I'm with Chill, I'm with Professor, I'm with Guru. Hayes, I do understand. Your wife seems like it was a she was a different situation.
Uh-oh.
She was raised in Spain. She was a child.
Oh
right?
no, he was getting ready to drop a bomb. There we go.
Yeah.
My bad, it froze. It froze on my end.
No.
Let you finish your thought and then I'll respond.
Oh, I froze. Oh, all right. Sorry about
head.
that. So Hayes, like I said, I understand your girl was different, right? She was raised in Spain. She grew up from a child to Africa to this. Maybe it was military. That's different than like what I'm saying is the traveling woman, the woman that's like, she didn't go out to learn a new dish. She went out to the beach and got her cheeks clapped, right? That woman is is the woman that we're talking about.
I mean, let me just chime in real quick then, because I know exactly what we're talking about, right?
Right.
And I have the same stance. I just feel like as an alpha male, personally, I'm pretty sure y'all feel like y'all are alphas as well, and I'm sure you are alphas, right? But as an alpha male, I am unconcerned about another male. I mean, smashing my woman's cheeks, right? I hold my shit so good that if she does that, she gotta go. Eventually, I'll find out. And she gotta go. I don't make it more into what it is. Like I don't have these harboring insecurities that hang over my head where I'm concerned about what a woman is doing because she likes to travel. Like if she likes to travel, get your travel on. If you get in your thing, cheap clap, eventually I'm gonna find out. And when I find out, I'm leaving you, and I'm leaving you on scene, and you're never gonna speak together again.
I'm not talking about during the relationship. I'm talking about before your relationship.
Okay. Before.
Okay, because I'm talking about before. To me, a woman that makes decisions is very important. The reason why, the way she makes decisions is important because my expectations is for her, how she's going to raise our children, how she's going to raise our daughter, how she's going to do those things.
But she's single. She's traveling single. Who cares about the child? Of course.
So you're basically saying that your woman, right, could get clapped out beforehand by like 100 dudes, but that doesn't matter because right now. Okay, all right. I mean, listen.
Your past is your past. Your past is your past.
I don't.
I thought it did.
Go ahead.
I thought it did matter to you, Hayes. I thought you said like once you find out, you would leave. Is this finding out within the confinements of a relationship or finding out after you had a relationship?
This is beforehand. I'm thinking it's beforehand. So I'm dating a woman. She travels. She done said she been bad places. I done did this. I done did that. I done slept with this one. Slept with this one. Slept with that one. She got her front out. What do I care if we get together that she's a woman who likes to travel previously? Like what does that have?
And was promiscuous.
Okay, she was single. She wasn't with me at the time. She was doing her. She was living.
You seem very open sexually.
Hayes is a freak, man. Hayes is a freak.
Let them bro. Let them go. Like if she gonna do her thing, bro, there's nothing you can do about it. I don't care how you look. I
wouldn't have chosen.
It don't matter. Yeah. It don't matter.
Hey,
the thing for me is I wouldn't have chosen to begin with.
Yeah. Hey, Hayes, I got a question. The chick that you with now, the new one, does she have any kids? Woman. Yeah. There you go. Does she have any kids?
No, not yet.
No, not yet?
No.
All right. I don't know, man. I'm just getting some vibes here, man. Just get these.
Bro. I just like I said,
vibes, man. That's the vibes,
bro. I don't own women, bro. You got a life before me. Like you done did your thing already. Like when you come into I honestly, before I got my lady, I would have been with a stripper, bro. I'd have been with a stripper, prostitute. I don't care, because at the end of the day, like my heart, like how I love, your experiences and what happened to you in your past doesn't mean that it's going to dictate your future, right? You could change because of how you love somebody and how you receive on those. So just because she was traveling before and was promiscuous and was out in the world, don't mean she's gonna be like that with me. She might settle with me. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like,
how old is she? Is she older than you?
Nah.
No?
Oh.
Man, some of this stuff ain't adding up. But all right, I'll fall back.
Lie, like, I don't lie about nothing. You don't lie. Like, guys be like, I don't lie. No, I literally don't lie. If you ask my woman, I don't lie to a single soul about anything. I'm not afraid of nobody. So for me to lie to somebody about something would be crazy for me. Like what am I lying to you about, woman? Like,
well, that is false. That is false, because earlier today, before the discussion, you said you keep your voice at a 32 something below a decimal, and man, you was getting right loud today. Well, you were like, well, you was like a chihuahua for this motherfucker, man. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm done. Yo, hey Hayes.
I'm saying you said it.
Someone made a comment to Hayes. Sarah Salem said Hayes said she can be ran through and it's cool.
Yeah. Bring that shit over here. Bring that right here.
It looks like an Arby's sandwich.
Where's the meat?
That is gross. Arby's sandwiches.
Yo, Mingo is rolling.
Yo, who said that anyway? What that professor?
Arby's.
He's laughing.
Did you say that?
Arby's.
Ew.
Oh, man.
Y'all, I just got a visual. I don't.
Don't give me fries.
Men more ran through.
Talking about appetite, dog.
Men more ran through than women, though. Imagine y'all be throwing your mouths around all crazy, all in this one, all in that one. Your mouth being that one. Stop it. Father.
How do you know this?
30 of stop it. Like
about it.
Cut it out.
So that's a different topic. But definitely to me, men and women, I personally believe we're not the same, right?
We're not.
And for biological, it doesn't mean that. No, 100%. But history has shown that men have multiple wives, right? And it's never been a thing in history. It's only but now being monogamous is a thing, right? Before it was all about you do whatever the hell you want as a man, and the woman had to do that. And the main reason why was I need to know whose child that is when that child comes out, right? So I need to know if that's my baby once that baby's born. Now, no one knows. 30% of men have no clue that they're not the father of the child that they are raising right now. So that's a reality of what's happening because women are more promiscuous, right? So that's why I say it's different. But, yo, my man says salami. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That roast beef sandwich.
Roast beef.
Absolutely not.
That's wild. That is wild. All right.
Yo, it's nothing
Lizzie,
little Kegels can't solve. I just know that. It's nothing some Kegels can't solve. I used to work at a sex store. I'll put you on.
Kegels might tighten it, but when it's flopping there.
All types of
What you say?
Wow.
I said,
why are we doing visuals and next to the sound? I'm done. It just sounds. Sorry, guys.
Come on, ladies. Let
me ask you a question.
Roast beef sandwich at a barbecue.
Yo, Sarah is hilarious. Dude.
Cardi B, right? Cardi B is a stripper. I used to throw money at Cardi B, right? I used to have Cardi on my lap like this, like right? Does that mean Offset is supposed to feel intimidated by me? He's not. I'm not Offset. I'm not wavy like him right now. I'm no threat. I am no threat. He's a happy. He goes to sleep peacefully at night, not worrying about my dollars thrown at Cardi.
Did Cardi B take your wallet?
That's a very valid statement, though, too.
Yeah.
Because men, a lot of times, like, as long as he knows that he can't, or that anyone in your past can't compete with him, a lot of times none of that extra shit matters because now he's the head, he's the best that you had, literally. So that's for his ego.
Yeah. Future don't care about Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Right.
You ask me, I believe that men of today are not raised like men in the past. Of course not, right? Because most of us didn't really have no strong, dominant male figures to actually say, yo, what the hell are you picking that woman for? You tripping, right?
Right.
Because like I said, for me, it was when I met my wife, before my wife, it was always important for me to know that the woman I was dealing with, let me get this hot dog up down the hallway thing. So,
Yo, Sarah,
I want to talk about the hot dogs. I want to talk about roast sandwiches. I want to talk about hot dogs.
Roast me
is it fun or is it not?
You can't look at the ballpark Frank the same.
Can't do it say no more.
I didn't need to ruin it for y'all. It's like you ruined it for us.
But you know, for me, it was always important that the woman that I was with, especially if I was to take serious, that she made good decisions in her past, because it had a lot to do with how she raises, let's say, her daughter. I don't want my daughter twerking because her mom thinks it's okay to twerk. I don't want my daughter out there feeling like, oh, okay, it's okay to have a host face because your mama did, right? I need her to make very good decisions on how we're gonna raise our child, right? So for me, as a man that had a lot of male role models that pushed me from when I was a child to an adult, it was always important to vet the woman that I was going to be with, right? So, which is why I picked the wife that I was with now. I picked her when I found her. I picked her like it was out of a slot machine. But I found her when she was younger, you know. I'm 5 years older than my wife, roughly, right? And I was very strategic in saying that's who I want to marry because of the values that she had, right? So,
that's what's up. Yeah.
Damn, I just stopped the show.
I was gonna say we all got those rants.
I wasn't sure, man. I ain't even outspeak this time, man. I was just listening, man. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Good, thank you for sharing.
No problem, man.
It also paused on my end too, so I was like, oh shit.
So, ladies, what's up with that? How do y'all feel about how the fellas feel about the woman with the passport, with the 3-4 passport books? How the majority is saying we don't want that.
I just think it's weird. Like, I don't understand how a man would feel. I'm gonna use the word threatened because that's how I feel. You feel some type of way because she was single and lived her best life. If she has a love for traveling and she has the means to support herself in traveling, baby, go travel. Like me, for example, I haven't traveled that many places, but I've been a few places, you know. And I'm single. I'm not gonna wait around I'm gonna wait till I'm married to go here and go there. No. Would it be nice? It would be great if I was in a relationship, married, whatever, and could share those memories with my husband or boyfriend, but that's just not the case right now. So that means I can't go travel because I'm single. And me thinking about the future, maybe he'll feel some type of way or feel threatened in some way that I didn't wait. What?
So Dom, let me ask you this then. What's your number one place you want to go? Greece,
and I'm going next year.
Okay, so let's say you had a man that been all over Greece, and now you guys are going together. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh, I remember going here, or I went here, or let's go see this." Like, what do y'all have? What are y'all sharing? What do y'all share together? Like, what? It's not a first time for either one of you. Like, he can't pour any. Like, you're not pouring anything to him. He's not pouring anything to you because he's already been. He's been there, done that already.
Okay, we can share that moment. We haven't been there together though. That's the whole point. Like, he had his experience there, and if I've been there, I've had my experience there. Now we're there together. We can make new memories. I may have gone somewhere that he hasn't been. Hey, babe, let's go over here. I went here and it was bomb. They got good. Like, whatever it is, it's an experience shared together. I just think that whole thing is weird.
So if he took his exes there, if he took his ex-wife, ex-girlfriend there, and they shared the same experiences you got, like, oh, let's stay here because I stayed here before. Or let's go here because I went here before. And who you went with? My ex. So now y'all sharing that experience together, but it's sort of like the experience has already been shared with somebody else. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, that's almost like hold on. Well, that's almost like you're being in a relationship, right? And say you're not waiting till marriage for, And then you go in your bedroom and you're ready to do the do, and one of the others like, oh, who's been in your bed?
Well, that
if
depends.
that person, if either one of you is not a virgin, someone else has been in the bed. So because someone else has been in the bed, you're gonna go somewhere else to do it. Like,
so it's okay if you had 1 or 100.
Huh?
So if there's 100 girls that in that same bed, you're fine with that.
I wasn't talking about the number. I was just talking about the experience itself. Like,
yeah,
the
you
number
got
is
experience with
irrelevant.
100 people.
We're not talking about body count right now, though. The whole point was of the bed, the location that's been shared with someone else.
Right.
That location is supposed to change because there was a previous experience with someone else.
But what we're saying is that's why we feel the way we were saying about experiences is because you've already experienced everything. So what is that experience with us?
But
New
see,
memories.
but you're limiting it. I think y'all are limiting the experience to just.
What is he talking about?
Just let's say for example.
Y'all are skipping over the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant in the room?
Elephant.
Everybody is skipping over the elephant in the room, and y'all just need to be honest. The reason why they're not a viable option is because those experiences leads to a lot of sex. A lot.
That's not what we
You need to understand that. I'm talking about why we don't even mess with the women who got, like, we talking about the passport, we talking about the stamps. Yes, we are talking about that. Ain't nobody talking about that. Like, all right, you got a chick, you met a chick, like my man down here in Hayes. I don't know where his woman came from. She from wherever she from, but yet she got a LA Lakers jersey. We understand that women don't gravitate to sports. It's usually by way of a man is when they gravitate by sports. Now she got a LA Lakers jersey, but living with a dude in Texas. You start thinking. You need to pay as a man. You need to pay attention to stuff like that.
But see,
that's why. What?
No, I don't.
But chill, because it's almost like, okay, so don't experience, don't do nothing, don't do anything until you get a man.
Ain't nobody saying that. Ain't nobody saying that.
Let's say, for example, let's say hypothetically speaking, me and Chill was dating or we was married, right? Let's say
Chill.
Oh
my
God.
We throwing shots.
Wait.
Oh my God. You might have to come to Charlotte.
No. Let's say in a previous relationship, somebody took me to Rome or something like that. I like Rome. I really want to go there. Let's say somebody took me to Rome, right? And then I meet you, and whoever the hell paid for it don't even matter. Let's say me and you both get there though, and we're there. That would be still a new experience because I have not been with you. Now, if we want to limit it exclusively, already been to Rome, then we can just chalk it up that you've already been there. But the fact that there's so much to do, depending on personalities as well, and what you're open to, there's so much more to do and experience with people in different places or the same city or whatever the hell. We can't go to outer space in different dimensions. You're gonna go and experience and do different things in life with different people as you meet them. And you cannot sit there and try to reserve, oh, well, I'm gonna wait till, like y'all be saying, you might not even get a man for real. So your ass gonna be sitting around waiting in that little dusty town that you got, waiting to go on a trip, waiting on a trip that'll never happen. So it's like, what are we willing to do? Sit here and wait. It may or may not happen. Go out and do it for yourself, and now you still don't want me anyway. What's
okay?
Live it.
And what I heard from you, all I heard is the same exact thing that I hear that everybody else say. It's you're playing, you're gambling. You're gambling. It's Russian roulette. You are. I'm not saying don't live life. But look, if you're going on those trips and everything, hey, look, if you're going by yourself, you're going with your girlfriends, all the fellas already know what type of trips those are. The house still got a groove back. The house still got a groove back trips. You already know.
Now, I'm not doubting
and this
that doesn't happen, right? Obviously, people go different places looking for sex all the time. That's just what people do.
All the time.
I will say,
butt massages.
I'll have to gamble this now. Y'all put your
On them Jamaican rats.
I think men would go out of town. I think men go out of town more so seeking the involvement of different women and experiencing it like that. A woman will go literally because I want to see them damn statues in Rome. That's why I want to go. I want to see the victory arches. I want to see all of that stuff. But it's like, but I'm just saying, different strokes, different folks. Yeah. But I just think that it's more so if a man is like, oh, me and my boys, we about to go to, I don't know. I don't even know. Just somewhere exotic, Brazil or something like that.
Right.
We know what's up. We women know what's up.
again, I could flip to the other part of it. Yes, look, have your experiences. Even if you was a chick who didn't even go out there and get them cheeks clapped, and she didn't go to Jamaica and get that
Right.
little, you know what I'm saying, the butt plug premium.
What?
Okay, even if she didn't do all of that, you know what I'm saying? Look,
Ew.
the fact of the matter is that men gravitate to women that they know that they can bring new experiences to. That's the most attractive thing to a man when he's with a woman, that he's piquing her interest by being interested. He's showing her things that she never done before. Like
And
a
then
chick
Yeah,
that done a lot of
because
stuff,
this is
she's not that interested
Which is
because she
one
no,
of the
already
just to
reasons
did it.
women
supplement,
like
just to
women.
supplement his point, it's just like if a man had to choose between a woman who had those excessive experiences that he described in terms of passport or an unexperienced woman, a man's gonna more times gravitate towards an
Experience.
unexperienced woman. And no different conversely, right? This is biological hardwiring when we having these conversations, no different from a woman. More times often, a woman, if there was a dichotomy, a woman had to choose between a man who has experience versus an inexperienced man. Typically speaking, they're going to gravitate towards the man that's experienced. This is biological hardwiring when it comes to the distinction between men and women. This is evolutionary psychology, evolutionary biology. So man
I
has
mean, and
always
that's
valued inexperienced women, right?
and that is true, but to a limit though, right? Because like we said,
What limit?
you there's and I think it's interesting. We can name obviously very common places that people travel to, right? But you ain't traveled across every damn continent and piece of grass on this earth. So whether
Literally.
both of you, let's say you meet a woman that does have those experiences. She might have money or whatever. She don't. You got money. You've had those experiences. Y'all need to take y'all butt and do a deep search on places y'all haven't been because you have not traveled the world. There's many places that aren't considered common that people travel to. You know, the common places, you know, Jamaica, Bahamas, Mexico, Brazil, whatever. There are so many other places you can go. So I just feel like my sister T was saying, I think that could be some type of like you're threatened by her having those experiences because now, like you said, Guru, you want to be able to provide those things to her. And so if you can't provide, there must be some type of I don't want to say insecurity, but just some type of feeling that you have that is making you feel like you can't live up to that standard and provide that experience for her. There's so much you can do. There's so much you really can
Yeah,
do.
Yeah,
and
nah,
and that's why
that's
and
not what
that's
it
why
is.
I said and that's why I said contextually, like with that particular situation, because he said with the passport, you said what did you say again? Grown men talking. You said like the passport or field or
Yeah. Just you got like the three fat passport books that's filled up, and she's just
Hmm.
all over the world, and
All over the
you
yeah.
world.
really can't give her no new experiences.
Right.
Right, you said all over
But
the
I guess
world, and that's why I said I remember I mentioned in terms of like there are things I would start thinking about, like does she have a sugar daddy? Because I know more times than often, like women don't have three passports that are filled that way. Let's be quite honest. Like
Look, they ain't
especially
got the
if
bread.
if they're ones who are solely investing in trips like that, like I rarely see that. So I would assume like I don't know if she has a sugar daddy or a sponsor who's helping her to be able to have her three passports filled in that manner. And 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 that's just what I would think. You know, it's no different from I'm sure women would think like depending on the context, of course, if a man is he has this buku money coming in and you're not sure if he has a job or not, you might think this man's probably selling drugs,
mm-hmm.
right? So,
Okay, so Guru, if you
mhm.
did meet a lady that way, right, and you asked her, just out of curiosity, how is it that you're able to travel to all these different places? And she tells you, well, I don't know, maybe her family has like a timeshare, right? Or she has family members that works for the airlines. And I've used those two examples because I personally know quite a few young ladies who have their passports pretty filled. And those are the reasons as to why. And I know a couple other people who just have money and they love to travel, so that's what they do, right? So what if you did meet a young lady that like that, right, had her passports filled and she told you that those were the reasons why, and you got to know her, right? Would you would you consider dating her? Like, I don't
No,
know what you're
no,
talking.
no, no.
What?
And the reason why, one of the reasons why
I'm
is
Why?
sorry.
because I'm gonna describe. One of the reasons why is because three passports filling that matter. It shows that this person is hyper focused on like the pleasures of life, and to me, that seems very cardinal when you got three passports filled and you're just always constantly traveling. Yeah, for real.
What?
What if they just
That would be a
love the
concern of
world?
mine.
What if they just want to
Yeah.
experience? What
What
if they
if?
was
What
because
what
usually
what are they working?
Okay, and then because you know, also people that have been in the military, you got a couple of women that have done that, right? And so they've had the luxury and finances to be able to travel and be stationed literally around the globe a lot of times. So
3
what about in
passports?
cases? Yes,
Military women
don't
are
travel.
not
They be
a
all
good
in Europe
excuse
or whatever, and all these other different places or whatever reason they there.
all the time.
I'm saying.
No.
I'm just saying
Don't use the military.
that's how they was able to travel. They had type of military background and stuff like that. So what if that person just genuinely loved to travel? Like they didn't necessarily want a career, they didn't have no arts and crafts talents, but they joined the military or whatever they had to provide that lifestyle that they simply just want to travel. That's all they technically care about. Would that be still them being cardinal?
You said that's all they care about is traveling? The last sentence?
That's their passion. They love the culture, the experience, seeing how different people live. Because outside of America, there's so many different ways of life that
Well,
I'll
I mean,
be like, whatever.
that's good in terms of, not going to mention a moral connotation, but I'm saying, of course, that's a prerogative. It goes without saying, but I mean, to me, it just sounds like this person is more into traveling instead of actually maybe establishing a family. And to me, you know, some of those women
She
appear
hasn't
to
met
be.
someone.
Say it again.
What if she hasn't met someone yet, though?
Because she's traveling.
Because she's traveling, it's hard to.
What if she not traveling and she ain't?
Yo, that does not.
You said
we gotta discuss why.
There are whole YouTube channels of couples that have found each other and they travel all over the world together. But guess what? She found her guy, and now she does what she likes to do, and he does what they like to do, and they travel together. So why can't you get on a page in your youth with someone who likes to travel, and y'all travel around the world together?
Because not all,
but what
not
if
everyone's life works
like
that.
Yeah, okay, but what if she can
do
that?
That way because y'all doing too much traveling.
Oh my
God! One place,
I don't agree with that
whatsoever.
Like, I just want to say,
agree with it.
I'm not.
Go ahead.
I'm not against the traveling. It's the excessiveness when he says 3 passports. Man, that's a bit extreme, man. That is very alarming, guys. This is not just merely about her traveling, but it's just the 3 passport status. Like, man, that's excessive to me.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. If I see a chick do that,
or cardinal, if a man does that, like he's in his youth or he hasn't met a woman yet for whatever reason.
If he's in youth, if a man does that as well, and he's just focused on traveling, he has not walked in his purpose. This is a man that's a liability, and all he's about is chasing pleasures and happiness, and not walking in his purpose.
Yeah,
I will say this. Now, if a man does that, that will propel him to probably the top of the food chain with women because he now is overly interesting. He's more interesting than any motherfucker you ever come in contact with because he has that much experience, whether it's traveling, whether this man got his pilot's license, he's doing something. So you're now like, God damn it, I need to get close to this nigga. I'm gonna holler at him. Like, come on now. Next time I see him, I'm gonna run up.
Oh,
like, let's stop playing.
My gosh.
Oh, sorry about the language. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry.
YouTube.
Please don't hate me, YouTube. I'm just here.
Listen. So check it right. This was a great discussion. I know that Chill, you have to go and run to do some work.
Yes, I do.
I thoroughly enjoyed today's panel. Next week we're gonna bring some heat, but we're gonna definitely have to work on those flared tempers that happened today. But it was
absolutely.
What I appreciate on that Mingo too when you get done.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you the floor 1 second. What I appreciate was the fact that both Miranda and Google were able to at least have a closing discussion with each other and still understand that it's part of the conversation. We're not going to always agree. Things might get a little heated, and it's fine. We're adults; it happens, right? But the biggest part about it is we're able to come back, continue to have the conversation, and move forward. As I said before, this channel is all about putting families together, marriages together, and being a strong unit as a people, so we could, kind of end what's happening right now. Let's destroy the sexy red vibes, right? So,
shoot them down.
With that being said, I'll give everyone the floor now. I'll give everyone the floor now to have their closing thoughts. Miranda, we'll start with you.
I just wanted to clarify a few things for everyone here on the panel, because I know we have some newer people here on the panel, and while Guru is still here as well. You know, just addressing the comments and everything I made earlier. You know, despite Guru making the statements or believing that, you know, keep your seatbelts on, everybody. That, you know, I'm a dog mouth woman, you know, and I'm disrespectful, and, you know, just all of these absurd things about my character. I think it's hilarious that he has come on here, our show, a few times, and went as far back as videos on my YouTube channel that I've made 4 or 5 years ago. You know, he's openly quoted me numerous times on this channel. He's told me that he has actually loved my content. He's enjoyed it. So I just think that it's interesting that as much as I'm a dog mouth woman, he loves to watch my content. He loves to actually quote me on this show. And, you know, there is definitely some type of love-hate relationship there that he has on his end, not from my end, but from his end, because, you know, he comes on here one week, he has something to say. And then, you know, this week it was, you know, he got a little heated when questions and things were being answered, and I'm trying to make my statement and stand on business and say my piece. But I just wanted to provide context on that, because you guys can go back and watch the previous lives where he's openly just loved to turn me into like a philosophical scholar. But this week, when I actually have something to say that ruffled his feathers a little bit, you know, people like to play the field. But I just wanted to throw that out there, that he does like my content.
All right.
Okay. And I enjoy your entertainment, Guru. I enjoy your entertainment, Guru. You show up, you be here, you have what you have to say, you stand on your own business. So I enjoy you here. I do.
All right, I definitely appreciate it, man. You know, it was just at the moment, you know, it's a little banter. So but what I'm saying is you are right. I have quoted your context. Either I quoted things that I agreed with or things that I cross-examined you about. But in terms of, you know, when we're, you know, sometimes you just gotta let the hands fly, man. That's it. Just letting the hands fly. That's it. That's it. You know. But you know, ultimately, you know, I think that in terms of the panel, I definitely enjoy the conversation. At times, I do enjoy the banter that goes back and forth, as long as we're able to regroup ourselves and be able to acknowledge that, hey, all of us are on, I'm assuming, on a mission, right? In terms of we believe in Black marriages and bringing Black men and women together. So,
yeah,
I mean, I'm good, man.
Lindsay,
I'm good on my end.
I want you married too, Lindsay. We want you to get married too.
You too, Lindsay. We want you to get married. I want all of y'all to get married. All of y'all. I do.
Yeah.
You too, chill, because you and that ball.
Oh, wait, no, not yet. Not yet. I'm waiting. I want to have fun. I want my options open right now. Look, I've been married for a long time. All right, let's get back to everybody's closing thoughts.
Yeah, so listen. Go ahead, Chill. What's your closing thoughts?
All right, so my closing thoughts is, look, everybody, I enjoyed the conversation, but I wanted to close with this. So basically, this is the conversation what we were discussing today about, you know what I'm saying, why is it that, you know, it seemed like a lot of women are, you know, glorifying, you know, having a kid by themselves. It's because basically they're glorifying independence. When you're just basically saying, like, I could do it all on my own. I'm just warning y'all that, man, that mindset is a death sentence. It really is. And being an overly experienced woman with your cup full, coming to a man thinking he gonna pick up the tab, that is a death sentence too, baby. He gonna be like, oh, no, easy layup. And then he gonna cross over and he gonna be going to the next one. I'm just telling you. You have to be very discerning about what you're doing out here. I'm not saying go out here and live your life, have fun, travel and all that stuff. But guess what? When you travel with a man, that shit is 10 times much better. Like, you can go out here and buy yourself a car, but guess what? When a dude buy it, you like, ooh, girl, look at these keys. It's a whole different vibe.
That's true. That is
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to land my plane there. Like, I do love these discussions, but my goal is the same as him, man. I enjoy watching Black people grow. I enjoy watching people go. You too, Lindsay. I enjoy watching people grow. I enjoy seeing happy relationships, happy couples, and that's the mission here, man. So I don't want us to lose focus from that. You know what I'm saying? We all on the same team here. No matter how many times I got to take off the bip and whip that ass a couple times because you're just not understanding, but we all on the same team. All right, I land my plane there.
Yay!
Right,
I guess I'll go. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy everyone every week on this panel, and I want to give a shout out to the new guest, Hayes. I was about to say Eric Hayes.
Oh yeah, Hayes.
I thoroughly
Definitely a
enjoyed
real one.
your points, your
Yes.
insight, your perspective. You speak very well. So thank you again for joining us.
Yes.
And I just want to say, contrary to what Chill just said, is that ladies, honey, if you are a single baby and you want to travel, honey. Don't think about what we just talked about on here. Okay, as far as a man being concerned, or whenever you meet a man, boyfriend, husband, whatever, being concerned that you've been so many places, baby, travel. Life is short. Tomorrow is not promised. If you want to do something, go do it. And who knows, girl, you may meet your future husband in another country. Like, let's be for real. So that's all I have to say. Yeah, Chill. Yeah. Yep, I said it. Sure did.
You can meet him, but he can't come back to the States. He ain't got no sponsor.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, you know, they got passport bros. They ain't got passport that don't work.
Did y'all see what happened to the passport bros though?
Oh yeah, they get knocked off, man.
Like it was about that. Basically, like the main dude is basically like a fraud on everything that he been saying, and that he like was encouraging that woman to get like an abortion. It's crazy because we was talking about them not long ago on here.
Oh, you talking about
Myron? Myron's not a passport, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
Myron, no, that's not Myron. That
you talking about? You talking about Fresh?
He's from Fresh and Fit. Yeah, you talking about Fresh?
Yeah.
Fresh.
He's dark skin.
Yeah, Fresh got this chick pregnant, boy. Well, you can tell he ain't had too much experience with beautiful women, boy. He done got that thing. That chick got 2 tattoos on the back. He just ain't know. He went ahead and spit it all in that. Now he's like, baby, please, have an abortion. Don't have the baby. What's all that stuff you was talking? He ain't know.
True.
Yo, so Professor, you got to find a
allegedly. So, contrary to what Dom said, ladies, stay your behind at home. Keep your legs closed, eyes open.
That's the last part.
Real though.
Last part.
Yeah. You know, no, but not for real though. I do appreciate the conversation. Hopefully this can get our community back where it needs to be, and accountability where it needs to be as well. So I definitely appreciate the platform that you guys have. But find your man in the States and travel with him outside the States. And you can't, and start trying to find men on the basketball court.
Look, don't be calling out Lindsay. Don't be calling out my friend. Don't do that. I got you, Lindsay. Don't worry, girl. I got you.
Yo, not
I got you.
Look, a lot of them can't beat me, so I don't know. A lot of them can't beat me. I'm not an easy layup. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Well,
and she's not.
I will take that as my way. I think everybody has a different perspective. I think people are not always going to line up with your perspective. You're not always going to, find somebody that matches. But that just means, there's somebody out there that will. I think with both of the topics, single motherhood, the men leaving, like traveling, there's a double standard to both sides. Like you shouldn't be devalued or hired up in value just because of where you've been and like what you've experienced. Like you shouldn't hold something against somebody because they're past. You shouldn't think that somebody is like holy and worthy just because they've experienced a lot more. Like, we all have different opportunities in life, and I would love to travel. I don't go into traveling with the idea of like, oh, I'm going to experience men. I'm going there to experience the place. And I personally think that my experience alone is going to be very different than my experience with somebody because my mentality is different. Like if I want to experience that with somebody. Same thing like with a relationship, you lay down together. There's the possibility that you're going to be stuck together forever. And if you decide to leave, that's on you. Like if there's lies going into it, whatever the situation is, like you have a responsibility at the end of the day. And if you take care of it or don't, again, that's your choice. Now, like, I think people should come together as a whole. Like, whoever I end up with, a man from the basketball court or somebody line dancing with me. I don't know. But it ain't gonna be a layup. I got standards. But, like, life is life, people are people, and we're here to just live it. So, coming together and being good people, that's what I'm here for.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So Hayes, talk to us. Final thoughts.
Yo, Hayes.
Yo. I appreciate the discussion. I appreciate everybody here for the perspectives. I agree with Lindsay. Everybody got their own perspectives on life and how they go about doing things. I do think that everybody here was definitely a difference maker, like I am. I appreciate y'all and this platform. And I missed last week. I had to go to church, so I appreciate y'all letting me come here this week because I try to be vested into my faith as best as I can. So I appreciate y'all for affording me that space. But in reference to the topic, like I said, I've been through a lot of trauma in my life in reference to dating, as I'm sure we all have. And my trauma has now caused me to solely focus on myself and my growth. I'm not worried about a single individual and what they're doing at any point in time, male or female. Doesn't matter your status as a relative. Doesn't matter about any of that. Live and let live. I will not judge you and how you do things. It's just whenever you come under my roof and we have an agreement and we discuss things, I expect those things adhered to in any relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't care about people's past. I care about the future. And I think if we stop dwelling on the past so much, I think it would enable us to move forward as people. Where so many times we're so rooted in our traumas and how we've been hurt that we impose those hurts and traumas on future people. And we need to stop doing that. Say, hey, listen, it is what it is. If you're going to hurt me, you're going to hurt me, period. And I'm just going to leave myself vulnerable enough to allow myself to be able to recover quickly. Because it don't take long for me to recover. You know what I'm saying? You play yourself with me, I'm good the next day. Trust me. I'm in something. I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to sometimes just like let our insecurities go. Just and like I said, like, and know that being a man, doesn't come with economic status. Like, I've been a man who has not been in a space of economic stability like I am now. And I was just as man then. Matter of fact, to some degree, I was more man then than I am now when I had less money, when I was unable to provide. And I think in a lot of men's perspective, we feel like being a king and a patriarch is more than just finance. It's your morals, it's your ethics, it's your principles. It's what you stand on as a human being. Finances is a part of that. But if you're rich, it doesn't mean that you have morals. You don't mean you have. So I mean, if you want to make money the foundation on what defines a man, you're already in the wrong space. And that's what a lot of our women are doing, is that they're doing exactly what we're doing right now, is saying that a man got to provide, I got to be a leader because I got economics and you're going to, and then it's like, if a woman says it, oh no, and it's like, wait a minute, like, money is never the foundation. Economics is never the foundation. The first foundation is moral, ethics, and principles, and the future, moving forward, not the past, but the future. So that's my final thought.
Bro, I love everything he just said, because I 100% stand by all of that. Like, all of that is valid, yo. We have to stop looking at people's past and trying to act like that means some shit. It's behind you for a reason. It's behind you for a reason. Like, you have to Chill is a mess, yo. I love Chill, but nah, for real, man, you have to take people for who they are, and money doesn't mean that you got it all together. No. Money, yo, you can die the next day and have been a terrible person, and everybody got something bad to say about you, and your money gonna get passed on to whoever it's gonna get passed on to. But your money will never define your character. And sorry, I'm going on a little rant, but I think our men today, really believe that. A lot of men today that are supposed to be leaders believe that if they have a certain financial status, I can treat you any type of way. I can talk to you any type of way. You are dismissive. You are nobody. Like, they base money as who they are. And I think a lot of them also use money to cover up their flaws. They use their success as a way to say, well, I've made it this far, so obviously I got some type of discipline and this and that. And really, they don't. You just have an excellent work ethic and you're intelligent to make money. Outside of that, you a scrub, a dusty, like Chill would say, a dusty with money. You gotta watch out for them, boy.
Or P Diddy.
Or P Diddy.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, but I want to say something real quick.
Take that.
I want to say something real quick. And I know but the past as well matters to women as well, but maybe in a different context. Because if a man has a gay past, more times than often, a woman is not going to want to date that man. It isn't as if she's going to say the past is the past, and this is the things that he did before me. They are going to be repulsed by that man's past. No different from there's a large portion of men who are very intentional about marriage, and they look at a woman's past if she has a promiscuous past, take that woman seriously because of her past. So the idea that the past is a past, sure, it may seemingly sound good or look good on paper, but ultimately that isn't the case. People look at individuals' past.
I mean, and just to touch on that finance part, I do agree that money definitely does not make anyone a person, right? It doesn't make you,
Right.
it doesn't make you, valuable really in this world. But we do have to understand that when a man doesn't have money, what it does to a relationship and what it does to how a woman moves in a relationship with you. So yes, it might not be a whole, right? So it might not be everything. It's definitely not at all. Character of a man, the way you lead, the way you go about all of that, everything combines, right? But and I'm not speaking on you, Hayes, at all, right? And not even you, Miranda. I'm talking to the audience, right? So because the biggest thing for me in life is to build up men, right? And to them to understand that there is a power dynamics when it comes down to how you move even with other men in this world, right? And the respect that you do get from men in higher places. No one wants to just stay at a low level in life, right? We all want to move up. What matters is what rooms you want to be in as you move up, right? So, so just the young men out there, your character is everything, but putting great work ethic into what you do as a man to build yourself up financially is super important to you as a man, and it is part of you as your character and how you will be judged 100% by other men and the women that choose to be around you.
But what I notice is people have a tendency of arguing from conveniences. So let's say you have someone who's a brokey, right? More times than not, they wouldn't surprise and say money's not everything. Or someone who's unattractive would say, well, being attractive is not everything. But ultimately, we're not saying being attractive is everything or money is everything. There's a hell of a down deposit, ultimately. And then if we did a 1-to-1, right? If we did 1-to-1, everything was fair across the board. They had the same. I mean, two men, same character, personality, morals, etc., etc. But one made more times than often, one's going to gravitate towards a man that makes more. If it was 1-to-1. But of course, if you want to argue inconvenience and make a leverage type of argument, say, oh, one guy's a broke and he has great moral character, and another guy, he has a lot of money, he's a terrible person. I mean, if you're going to frame it that way, of course, you're framing in a way that one is going to have no choice. A smart person is going to go with the person who has character but is a brokey versus someone who has money who's tyrannical. But I can philosophically frame it in a way as well. I can say, would you go with a man who has money and he has great character alongside having money, or would you go with a brokey who has terrible character? Like, I mean, what I'm saying is ultimately we see people do this framing from conveniency. But I'm saying ultimately, if it's a 1-to-1, typically a woman is going to choose the man who earns more. If always the same across the board, besides the financial.
And all I'm saying is, give me the woman that's going to live with me in a shelter. I don't. If you're not willing.
Oh God.
If you're not willing to go, listen. Y'all can laugh. Ha ha. This is me. That's you.
Yeah.
Woman, and you're not willing to live in a shelter and still look at me as your king, you're not my woman.
So when you have a 1-on-1, I want to just quick one interaction, right? Just be very respectful. So I'm gonna phrase my question very quickly. You said,
Guru, please come on camera, my brother. Come on camera.
Bro, okay, man. Jeez. All right. Y'all seen me before.
It's
So
It's for the show, man. It's for the show.
What I was going to say was this: just a quick cross-examination. You and I believe both you and I find families very important and very imperative. As a father, would you hand your daughter off to a man that is in a shelter?
As a father, I would tell my daughter, I would ask her, is he a leader? Is he going through a moment in his life? I would ask these questions. I'm going to have a realistic, open dialogue discussion with my daughter. I'm not just going to base the precedence on which she should mess with him or not, is if he's currently in a shelter. Because if he's in a shelter now, doesn't mean that he won't be mansion 5 years from then. So I need to know more so what his intentions are, what his plan is. That's what I need to know.
So you know what I mean by handing. When I say handing, that means she lives with you. There's provision and security providing her, and you're handing her off to a man that's actively in a shelter.
I wouldn't recommend it. I would speak against it. But if she chose to do it, I would support her. I would support her. Yes, I would support her. And she's her king, and she's making the way through life with her king. Yes, I would support her.
Well, but prior before being a king, right? Because when you say king presupposes in a relationship, I'm saying she's meeting.
That's why for me it goes back to morals, ethics, and principles. When we have dialogue with this young man, if I find that this young man is on the right track, but maybe he went through a rough patch, maybe he got kicked out of his mom's crib. You don't really know where he's at in life. But I need to understand who this individual is as a person before I worry about what he can provide and what he can do for me.
No, granted.
Now, if I'm gonna tell my daughter, I'm gonna say go live in a shelter. No, if I have something here for you, no, but I'm not gonna tell her to leave him.
Right.
I'm not gonna tell her to stop.
So what I'm saying is you see the level of, and which is fair, I agree. You see the level of concern that you have in terms of provision and security that you would want her to stay. Imagine that with a woman. That's 10 times fold. Even as a man, you'll be uncomfortable with her leaving provision to be in a shelter with a man that she likes. What I'm saying is that
who would leave with me? If right now I got a visit, right now, me and my will go live in a shelter and we lay in the bed, it'll be all good. We figure it out, bro.
She's leaving you.
She's not.
No. I don't want to. No. This is gonna take the phone.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying this is pre-relationship. Not while in a relationship, of course. While in a relationship, you made the commitment, especially marriage, and go through the thick and the thin. Yeah. But I'm saying prematurely, prior before being in a relationship, she's considering entertaining this man that's living in a shelter, and she's considering leaving your home to be with a man that lives in a shelter.
I hear you, bro. And I just said, as a father, I'd be concerned. But as somebody who understands human beings and the heart, I cannot interfere with my daughter's decision to go be with this. And if she decides to go be with him, I will 100% support her.
Let me ask you a better direct question. She says it's up to you, Dad. Should I go in a shelter with him, or should I stay here with you within the confinements of the household?
I would stay here, but that's as a father, bro. You're giving me a father, not as a discerning and loving heart for another individual. Because it was my lady, and she said, right now, we couldn't figure it out, and she had to go live in the shelter, and I didn't have a crib. I would go live with my lady in the shelter, bro. Like I'm not gonna go live with my mom while she's dealing with the shelter, bro. If I love her, I'm gonna go be with her in that experience so that we can come out of it together.
Yeah, that's why I keep pulling the labor back. Said prior before love. Right, this love, of course. I'm saying
but that question is a little sad because before love, you're not going to move in with anybody. So that
No. Well, what I'm saying is this is what I'm showing how important security is. More times than often, prior, the woman is going to look at a man to see if he's able to provide security for her. So that's why we have to peel the layer before love. This is what I'm saying. It's very as much as is. I'm saying this, Hayes. As much as is important to you as a father, it's very important for healthy women. Feminine women are not going to want to jump into a relationship with a man that is in a shelter. They don't give. Let me tell you something. They don't give a damn about character. Save that broke talk for somebody else. I'm gonna tell you something. If my daughter, listen, I don't give a damn about how moral a man is. I don't give a damn how moral a man is. My daughter, if I had a daughter, she's not gonna be in no shelter because he's a great guy. That's not happening.
Good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that, bro. You dictate.
No, definitely.
Arrange the marriage while you at it, bro. Arrange it while you at it, bro. Might as well You know what I'm saying? And make sure she cut her face and her eye, her hair.
And then you want to be funny? Since you want to be funny, while you at it, jump in a whole bunch of orgies since you like women mess with women. Why you at it? Why don't you? Why, hey, since you want to be funny, be funny, right?
Man.
You want to be disgusting pagan, and you want to be disgusting pagan. Why you at it, join in a whole bunch of orgies and have your dog being flipped and tossed by man? You're a disgusting bastard.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh man. All right.
When you the argument, and you start throwing.
I'm not to be funny. Listen. You want to be funny? I'm not playing with you. You got anything to say? You are listen to the community.
Listen,
you promote degenerate behavior. You promote degenerate behavior. I don't promote that trash.
So let's what you call it. Let's put Guru. All right. Let me get back to panel. I'd like to close this out. Jessica.
How old are you, sir? How old are you?
Hold on, Hayes. We talk backstage, but we're on YouTube. Let's keep professional. Jess, do you have your final thoughts?
Basically, is about the usual accountability. And I'm kind of like on the move a lot today. That's why, but it was a great conversation. And I think to any extreme, it always is where the trouble lies. Anytime we go to either extreme. So sometimes, just once we're accountable and have some kind of moral basis, I think that's the best way to go. It's a lot going on, so I just say, have a wonderful day, people.
Right.
You too, Jess.
Yeah. So that was a lot for me as well. Jesus, listen, please. I'm kind of lost now. I'm like, God, all right, hold on, let me get my bearings together.
Yes.
Right. I'm like, how do I come back after all of that? How do I talk after all that? Like what? What gotta say?
Listen, please, everyone, what I would love for y'all to do is please you come to the door on the replay, please, the like button. It helps with the algorithm. Make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, and then on the replay, you can leave a super chat, a super thanks. I'm sorry, because we are monetized. So, with that being said, please, everyone, enjoy. We are at 6,000 subscribers right now.
There you go. Congratulations, man.
We're making some numbers. We're doing some numbers. But we definitely need to aim for 50. So I'm trying to push 50,000. And so we need you to share, like, comment, subscribe, get the word out there, the panel talk, the reactions, and then I'm coming out with a new show, and it's going to be dope. I'm not going to get the details of it, but we're going to keep this going, y'all. So,
man working. Look at him.
Man working, man. A man at work, yo. So listen.
That's right.
We'll see y'all next Sunday. Please stay in tune. Peace.